With me, Danny Beardsley, and my co-host, who doesn't like spaghetti hoops because they're too slimy, Dan Dan.
Dude. I do not like spaghetti hoops.
You know what? Ever since, because it's been a bit of a thing for years, hasn't it? I used to take the piss out of you for it, that constantly. I do not like spaghetti hoops.
Then why have you been taking the piss out of me for it then?
I think I used to like them. I don't like them anymore.
They're disgusting. I like my pasta al dente. What about you? How do you like your pasta?
I like it
a bit of bite.
I like it whole grain.
Oh, that's not a
whole. Is it whole grain?
Brown.
Brown, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the colour of the bloody pasta. I'm talking about how firm it is when you eat it.
I like it to have a little bit of a rubbery feel. Is that what, would you say it's rubbery?
I don't know.
Is pasta rubbery?
It is if you cook it badly, yeah.
Okay.
But not as bad as spaghetti hoops, thankfully.
Yeah, okay. I don't know where we're going with this. How have you been?
I've been okay,
How
thank you.
How have you been?
Thank you, I've been fine. How have you been?
Yeah, very good.
Been doing anything?
Had a trip to York.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
York is a beautiful city in the UK.
I didn't want ChatGPT's version of York. I want the real experience. How did you experience York?
It was pretty wet. It rained a bit. But it didn't rain as bad as we
anticipated, so
That's
it
was better than we thought. We got bursts of sunshine.
What did you do?
We explored the historic ancient walls of York.
Oh yes, it's a walled city, isn't it?
The walled city.
The walled city.
So we had a nice walk along there.
Nice.
Pretended we were being attacked by...
Well, the English.
Yeah.
Were you Vikings?
Yeah, we were...
Role-playing as Vikings.
Yeah, we were the archers.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, anyone trying to invade?
Not the radio show.
I don't listen to Radio 4 anymore.
Oh, Radio 4.
I listen to podcasts.
Pickle Legs.
No, don't listen to myself.
You liar. I know you listen to us. You listen to...
Dude, what can I say? It's a great podcast.
Spread the word.
With some brilliant guests.
Yeah, stopped in a really nice hotel.
Oh, yeah. I think it was a very posh one, wasn't it?
It was called Ma Maison.
French.
The air conditioning was shocking. It did not work.
Oh, was it cold? Was it cold in there then, or was it?
No, it was too warm.
It was too warm.
Yeah, it was too warm. But the room was fantastic. The bed was very comfy. The breakfast was terrific.
What was it? Detail.
Well, I started out with some granola and natural yogurt, a nice coffee.
Oh, lovely.
Day,
yeah.
A glass of water and a glass of apple juice. Provided by my daughter. She likes to go and fetch all the drinks for the table. But it wasn't really a buffet breakfast. You had to order it off the menu.
Yeah.
But I ordered...
It's always better that way, I find.
Oh.
Because it's made fresh rather than...
Well, I concur. It was a fantastic breakfast.
Good.
And I would say eating that buffet breakfast, well, partial buffet breakfast.
Okay, yeah.
Felt like they got all the ingredients from somewhere like Ocado or something.
Oh.
It was like premium.
What made it feel that way?
I don't know.
Was it just a nicer egg?
It was just nice. It was just like nicer. Really nice produce. Well, I had a veggie breakfast. I always opt for a veggie breakfast because I think you get more for your money.
What was on it? What was on this veggie breakfast?
More flavour.
I've eaten more items, not like a concept like flavour. What items are on your veggie breakfast?
Like mushrooms, spinach, eggs, tomato, beans. Any
fake meat?
There were some vegetarian sausages, but the great thing about them was they were actually vegetables. Rather than... What is it? What is it? What is pretend meat?
A soy protein? Who knows?
I don't know.
There are some really great vegetarian sausage alternatives these days.
I concur.
Sometimes a vegetarian sausage is better than a meat sausage.
Yeah, I can't eat... Well, I don't eat mammals, but the...
I like how you put...
It tastes like farm.
I like how you put that. I don't eat mammals. What about reptiles?
Reptiles?
Do you eat reptiles?
When have you ever eaten a reptile?
I've eaten frog.
Okay.
I've eaten snails.
But there was some drama in the hotel.
Okay, go for it.
The yogurts were out of date.
Oh my God.
And my daughter was like...
She was on it. She's a stickler for that, isn't she?
Yeah. She likes
rightfully so.
She likes a good sell-by date.
So what occurred? Did she launch them at the waitress?
They just all sort of gathered around them and then moved them off a tray.
Okay. Yogurt gate.
They didn't have any replacements. They were all out of date.
That's very poor, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we explored York. Beautiful place, and we went to the Jorvik Museum.
Oh, the Viking Centre.
Yes, because we'd been talking about that in a previous episode.
A previous episode? I can remember going there at school and they had the massive poo. Is the massive poo still there?
The fossilised poo was there. It had a word. It's got a term.
Okay, go for it.
Coprolites. It's a coprolite.
Fossilised poo, yeah, coprolite. That's correct.
Yeah. If you knew, why didn't you just tell me?
I've heard of it before, but I can't I didn't have it at hand.
Yeah, so amazing trip. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Have a little trip to York.
Please tell me what you've been up to.
I've not been up to a lot, really, but I've got a little trip to Manchester tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I'd have a little breakaway.
Would you like to tell the listeners about you've used ChatGPT to create a...
Yes, I've used my little AI, ChatGPT, to create an itinerary.
Itinerary, that's the word I was looking for, sorry.
So it's helped me decide where I'm staying, because I didn't want to stay in Manchester, because, cities are cities, aren't they? Don't really like the city vibe, to be honest. I like to stay just outside with somewhere with great transport routes on the way in, so I can retire to a nice little, I don't know, like a nice town or something.
Okay.
And travelling in and out. So I'm staying in Altrincham, just outside Manchester.
You just make that up?
It's got the same kind of... It's something that sounds like Altrincham. It could be the place, it might not be the place.
Okay.
And I'm going to see some bands at the O2 Ritz in Manchester tomorrow night.
Would you care to reveal what this band might be?
Well, it's Silverstein's 25-year tour, but I don't really like them. They've got like one song they used to like 15, 20 years ago.
What's that song go? How's that go?
I don't even know what it's... something Pieces, I think. Smashed into Pieces? Smashed into Pieces.
Okay.
You won't like it, it's not your kind of thing. It's post-hardcore, emo stuff.
Oh.
I don't imagine you to like... You've never really shown interest in that kind of music before.
Does it sit in the realm of like Billy Talent?
Ish. A bit more aggressive than that. But the band I will really want to see is Thursday, because they're like post-hardcore legends, sorry.
But you're going on Friday?
But I've never seen them, so it's my chance to go and see them. And I thought, whoa, I'm going to finally get to see Thursday. I love the bass player, got some really cool bass lines. But it turns out, I've done a little bit of research, obviously after I bought the tickets, but in terms of touring, only the singer and guitarist, one of the guitarists, actually tour. The rest of the band write the music and release the music, and then there's only like 2 members that actually go on tour.
You've been fobbed off.
I've been fobbed off. So the original drummer's not there, the original bass player's not there, and one of the guitarists isn't there.
Who's playing bass?
So the touring bass player is the bass player from Lost Prophets. There's a name that you didn't think would be brought up on this podcast again.
I hope you have a splendid time.
You know what? It still might be good.
I look forward to hearing about it. In a future episode.
Everyone will hear about this in a future episode, I'm sure. I'm going to take some videos as well.
Yeah. You can
I'm going to be right at the front.
Oh.
I'm going to tell my technique to get to the front of a gig.
Wait, you don't do that like, Danny!
Yes.
Danny!
It's not Danny.
What, you're not going to pretend that I'm there? You're going to pretend someone else is there?
No, it's normally Dan. I use the Alan Partridge. I bet you've not seen Alan Partridge, have you?
No.
So I just shout like at someone at the front I'm like with, and I'm like, Dan! As I'm literally driving my way through the crowd towards the front.
Does it work?
It works, because people just let you go, because you think you're going to someone that you know. So people just let you through.
What about if someone's like an avid Alan Partridge fan, and they know what you're up to?
Oh, good on them.
You'd be like...
Full respect.
I hope it works for you.
Yeah, anyone I don't care about the main band, so I'll back off. I'll do my reverse out. Exactly. I might even, to be fair, leave during the headliner just for an ease of exit.
You'd be like, it's not even the entire band.
Well, they're not the headliner. The second band on, second to the end.
Oh, so you are going to stay to watch Silverstein?
No, that's when I'll probably leave.
No, that's what I'm saying, because I was just expecting you to just not stay for them at all.
Oh,
anyway.
I respect them enough to go and have a little look, but it depends if it's I've not listened to... They've released like 10 albums, dude. Since
they might surprise you.
Exactly.
Yeah, they might surprise you, mate.
I've only listened to that like 4 songs by them ever, and they might have some really good stuff now. I mean, they're not going to be playing the same kind of style now, are they? It's unlikely, isn't it? You can't do the screamo stuff forever. People mature.
T-Chat.
T-Chat with Danny and Dan.
That was out of nowhere, dude. If I go by smell, I don't think this is going to be a very nice experience. Get your little...
I've tried it.
Did you just dip your
Do you
nose
mean
in
tell
there?
you what it is?
Yeah, I've not tried it yet, but tell me. Go for it.
It's a pucker.
A great brand.
A very strong tea brand,
A very strong tea brand.
Pucker Peace.
Ooh. I wonder what herbs and spices embody peace.
Well, judging by the smell and the taste, I'd say a hint of lavender again.
Oh, it's only a little bit there. It's not as bad as the Tea Pigs lavender one that we had.
The entire lavender field that was in that one silken bag.
I know this is going to upset you, but I'm going to have a slurp. Is that all right?
Don't apologise to me. It's just too much.
It gets the flavour in, dude. You meant to slurp.
Okay, I'll do it.
Professional tea drinkers slurp, you know.
I'll do it.
There is something disturbing about hearing someone else slurp, isn't there?
Oh, it has got a strongest. Yeah.
There you go. Excites the particles.
Does it? Is that the...
It must do. It must do, dude. So, dude, what have you been listening to?
Ooh, good question. Good question. I have been listening to Led Zeppelin 3.
Led Zeppelin 3. Is that one of the best albums? I'm not a massive Led Zeppelin fan, if I'm honest.
I think Led Zeppelin 4 is the someone's going to correct me, but that's the one with like Black Dog and Stairway to Heaven on and things like that. So I think that's the more popular album.
Okay.
But Led Zeppelin 3 has got Immigrant Song on.
Oh, that's one of my favourites, to be honest.
Celebration Day. I mean, since I've been loving you, that's the. I mean, you can hear the squeak. You hear the squeak on the kick drum. It's so like organic and real. Oh, it's awesome. Well, it's a really great album, mate.
We just had to listen to The Ocean by Led Zeppelin, didn't we? Because that is also another version of I'm Broken.
It is.
By Pantera or Plectrum Electrum by Prince.
Both, I think, have copied off Led Zeppelin.
Maybe Led Zeppelin copied off Prince.
What? From the future? It came first, mate. There's no denying it. Just a quick note about John Paul Jones on bass, though. I mean, I forgot how good the bass tone is. It's so good.
It's a classic.
And yet again, a newfound appreciation. It kind of transported me back a little bit to when I was a kid and when my dad first introduced me to Led Zeppelin. Listening, it was nice to revisit Jimmy Page and listen to his phrasing and his vibrato and things like that. And even his tone, it's quite sharp and a bit scratchy and what have you. But I don't know, there's something kind of, I don't know, maybe nostalgic in a way from my childhood. So it does have like a bit of I forgot how much
an emotional pull.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I know in a past episode I was a bit like I don't really like his lead playing, but
you dissed him in the past, don't you?
Yeah, I did. Well, I wouldn't say dissing, but
I'd definitely say it was a dissing.
I was more I was complimenting his rhythm playing than his lead playing, but I really dug it this time around. So
does it make you think though? What would Led Zeppelin sound like today if they were to release an album? What would it sound like?
It'd sound like Greta Van Fleet, probably.
No, I've not heard of them. Are they good?
Yeah, they're really good. It's just I think they get criticised because it's just like you're just doing what Led Zeppelin did 30, 40 years ago.
Is that like Airborne copying off AC/DC?
Oh yeah, that's another example, isn't it? But I mean, they're like legendary bands, aren't they? They are. Yeah. Why not? If you're going to choose a band to just base your material on, why not choose the best? So, dude, what have you been listening to?
Quite boring, really. I've been listening to Thursday because I'm going to see them.
Oh, of course, yeah,
in Manchester.
You're getting yourself prepped and getting familiar.
Prepped. Reminding myself. They've got about 5 albums out.
What would be your favourite album, Dan?
This is a good talking point, actually. So I really like their first album, Full Collapse, but they shifted their kind of tone and style a little bit. Not so much style, but like the way their albums are produced. So they started off quite dry, I suppose. I suppose dry, but less roomy. Let's just say that. And then the later albums are a lot more roomy in terms of the drums are bigger, the bass has got distortion and stuff on. Just very different. And I didn't like those albums, really, because I kind of, you're just nostalgic for the old stuff, aren't you, all the time. But they've really grown on me on this kind of like re-listen, and I appreciate them a lot more.
Oh, wicked.
And where some of the songs where I just dismissed them previously because of the production was so different from what I kind of expected from Thursday. It's nice to go back and listen to it with some fresh ears again and go, I appreciate that now.
Oh, quality.
There is an album, though, that's still a little bit too far for my ears, and that's Common Existence. The production on that is just... They find a better kind of midway point, I think, on the album after that, No Devolution.
Okay. I might visit some albums and have a listen. I don't know if it's in a genre that
It's post-hardcore, kind of emo post-hardcore. It's not. I don't think it's really your
I
thing.
might struggle with it a little bit, but
I won't do your playlist. Don't worry.
well.
We'll have a little listen after
We'll
this.
have a listen after this and compare the. I'm interested in the production things that you picked up on. So
It's very different. We'll have a listen afterwards. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to.
right, today's episode is a very special episode.
It's for Podcasthon. It's just like an event that happens where podcasts promote a charity. Explain which charity we've got that we're going to talk about today.
We have chosen the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. It's a charity that we hold dear to our hearts and what they stand for.
It is. It's all about making sure that the tragic thing that happened to Sophie doesn't happen again. It's all about stamping out prejudice, hatred and intolerance everywhere.
And they educate by teaching the importance of tolerance and inclusivity.
They stimulate by stimulating and encouraging conversations about prejudice.
And by celebrating difference, music and individuality.
If this is a cause that you wish to try and help and support, you can donate on the website. So just go to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.com. You played the Sophie Lancaster stage, haven't you, at Bloodstock before, I believe, Danny?
Yes, we have actually. And as big as the stage is and as big as the festival is, the thing that meant the most was being able to stand on that stage that had the name Sophie Lancaster Foundation associated with it. It held like a lot of weight, and it was an absolute honour to be on that stage.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Yeah, so if you want to support it, donate away.
We've got a very special guest on here today.
We have indeed.
And we've known him a very long time. We're very dear, dear friends. He's a very talented guy. He's a joy to be around.
He is amazing. We love him, don't we, Danny?
Yes, we do.
Should we crack on with the pod?
Boom. Yeah, as long as they actually exist in the real realm.
And in this timeline rather than 500 years ago.
This is so hard.
We didn't say it was easy, Ryan. If it was easy, then everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they?
Well,
Yeah, of course they would.
Yeah. It is very hard, but I think I've got my thing, so here we go.
Good.
I've got a right tickle now in my throat.
Sorry.
That's a perfect timing for a podcast.
This interview's just going to be full of...
It's basically going to be an advert for Benylin, isn't it?
I had loads of... What happened? It was Judith, wasn't it? I had, like, reflux, and it kept going... blah, 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 blah.
And then there was one where I was eating pesto pasta. I forgot they were interviewing. I was just eating my lunch.
Because Danny just eats his lunch, just join a podcast.
True
He
story.
calls me out on it.
True story. There's a brand of pesto that literally gave me an anaphylactic shock because I had a reaction to it. So here we go.
Are you allergic to anything?
I'm allergic to something that was in that pesto, but we don't know what because the hospital never tested me afterwards. So it's lucky dip on the pesto.
Can we test it? Danny, can we check your cupboards right now? Can we do a live pesto testing?
It's the pesky pesto.
Have you got a EpiPen?
I've
always wanted to use one of them.
I've been told that I probably should have one, but...
Should we kill Billion?
I just
in
basically
the eye.
avoid that pesto. As long as I stick to the
I
pesto.
mean, it'd be really sad if you died and it didn't work, but it'd be great content. And actually, I think we get a fair few new followers.
I'm sure you'll get a few new followers because of the pesto chat, so...
Pesto chat. We're not done...
We need a new theme tune.
We're doing a jingle for it. One day this podcast is going to be 99% jingle. 1% content.
Pick your pesto.
In fact, one of the last episodes, I think the jingles have
I think
got
your
used about
podcast
4 times
is
each.
going to die on its arse if all we're talking about is pesto.
No, this is what people want to listen to.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody.
I don't think they care about the Dream Band bit.
Not at all. Not one bit. They just want to hear about... What's it classed as? A sauce? Condiment?
What is a pesto? Is it?
It's almost like a marinade, but not.
Oh, I prefer that.
I won't call it a
that
marinade.
It's not a marinade.
I
That's why I
won't
said
call it a
but not.
marinade. I'd say it's like a side sauce. No, but it can be an ingredient. Oh,
Yeah,
my
it is.
God.
I'm thinking of if it's pasta. Like, you chuck it in with the pasta and mix it all in.
Comment with your likes and shares with
Is it
whether you think it's
pesto?
a sauce or not.
Yeah.
Is it a sauce? Is it a sauce? Is it a side accompaniment? Is it a ingredient? Who knows?
All I'll say is it's bloody lovely.
Well, it is until it kills you.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't give you a bit of a...
Just avoid the...
I wonder what it is, isn't
I know.
it?
We've not touched that
Pine
particular...
nuts?
It's got pine nuts in it.
I'm not allergic to pine nuts.
I love a pine nut.
There's
I
a
do.
particular nut we think that was in that one, but we don't know which one it was.
A particular nut.
Yeah, because he didn't name all of them.
Can we get all the nuts you've got, Danny, right now, and rub them on a bit of his skin? Live nut allergy testing.
Yeah,
That's what I want this podcast to become. Live nut. Jeopardy.
There's an idea for a podcast.
Live nut.
What are you allergic
Yeah,
to?
but what if-
Let's
what
see
if-
how bad you are.
What if every guest is just not allergic?
well, then
That's quite boring, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I want to hear the squeals of like bubbling skin.
it's a bit like Russian roulette, isn't it? Something magical or funny is going to happen at the end of it.
Magical.
Not.
Magical.
A magical Russian roulette. What's that all about?
rubbing nuts on.
Doesn't sound each other though. I think it'd be great to test every allergen on, like tie him down and just test everything on him.
See which one has the desired effect.
Like biopersal, non-biopersal.
Have you ever had it done? I went and had allergy testing done with like they put in this like weird.
That scratch you with a little needle or something.
No, they just rubbed this thing on you. I remember they did it on my tummy.
Can you be a bit more specific, please? Because that could be anything, Danny.
It was like I seem to remember it being very marble-like.
What, like a round marble?
Yeah. So I don't know if it had like.
Sounds a bit
like a pumice stone.
Sounds a bit like fake medicine to me. This does.
I don't know. I mean, it was very.
Were they
bizarre.
qualified?
It was very bizarre. He said that I'm allergic to the nightshade family of food.
Also tomatoes, etc.
Yeah, peppers and aubergine and.
Very good.
Yeah, all great stuff. I come away feeling very depressed after that session.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's it. That's all that happened.
Just for the listeners, Danny's decided to use my. I say my. Wait, I suppose this is mine, isn't it? It's in your studio, but
it's not a tripod, is it? What's it called?
It's like is it a boom arm or something?
Boom arm.
Get your boom arm out.
It's out. But you've been playing with it when I've not been here.
Yeah, I know.
And then you've repositioned it, and I've got it's like looking through wires at you now. So cheers for that. Anyway. Should we start the podcast?
Yeah, I know.
20 minutes in. Who have we got on the pod today, Danny?
Who are you?
I am a very tired 40-year-old dad of two, formerly known as Ryan Walton.
Formerly known as
you are still Ryan Walton.
I feel the shell of it, but I'm Ryan Walton, the former frontman from Spirtyus, a couple of other bands as well that lurked around about 20 years ago or so, and that's it.
Welcome.
I'm part-time Ghostbuster, part-time dad, full-time dad, should I say, not part-time.
Part-time dad.
That makes me sound like a real scumbag. Absolutely
like an
not.
awful father. I've got children, but I look after them part-time.
Yeah. No, that's it. Long story short, the band finished. I got into a few other things, and now I'm basically dedicating my time to my kids until such time as they stop wrecking my life in the evenings with a sleep.
I'm sure
I do love my children. Yeah. I do love my children. Let's put that out there.
He does love his children. 25 years from now, we might be in a place where we can continue with.
Yeah, they'll definitely be barred from soft play at that time.
Well, you too. But I enjoy soft play though.
I love soft play.
That's a great
I
time,
love soft
didn't we?
play.
Where was that place in Leicester we went to?
Was it
that
Ninja Warrior?
That was Ninja Warrior. That wasn't soft play.
It wasn't that soft actually, was
You
it?
got up the wall as well.
I got up the wall.
He was like jumping around. Yeah.
I can't believe I got up the wall, to be honest. I didn't think that was going to be possible.
Beat the wall.
My little legs.
Yeah, good times.
Just proves anyone could do anything if I can get up that wall.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit about your musical career? Where it all started? What got you into?
So the very first time around the time of sort of 2000, 2001, I was into like dance music, bit of hip hop, there was like Dr. Dre and that kind of thing that was out around the time. And I got asked to do the rap on a song for the school talent show type thing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll have a go. Let me listen to it. What is it? Limp Bizkit, Take a Look Around.
Amazing.
And I was like, what's this? And literally that one song got me into metal. I started with that particular. I did the show with this band, that had been made up or whatever, bunch of students at the school, and from there on, that was it. I kind of got hooked, and we did a couple more shows at the school, like different end of term type things, and from there on, started getting into different music. The first time I went to see Limp Bizkit was the 10th of June 2001 at Manchester Evening News Arena, as it was then.
I remember it that well.
Yeah. It was my very first gig. That was it. I was hooked.
Perfect. All it takes is one song.
Literally one song. It was one song, and it got me straight into it. I was just hooked from that point on. I started going to out in the local scene and that kind of thing, and then there was a band called CFP. They had a all right sound, bit of a mixed bag when you looked at the musicians, and I think we were kind of all open about that. The singer that they had at the time wasn't great. I kind of followed them around a little bit, and we ended up jamming one time. There's a place in Leicester called Academy of Sound. Really cool, like music shop, guitars, drums, a lot,
I remember that place.
And
bought a cab from there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's a shame it's not there anymore. But it was a really great little sort of hub for musicians at the time. And I happened to be there with these guys, and they heard me singing some stuff, and they were, "Oh, you should join the band." I'm like, "Yeah, but what about the other guy?" Well, we'll get rid of him. Like, oh, okay.
Was he kicked?
He was turfed out.
Out.
And then
Rest in peace.
We had about 3 weeks to write some songs for for the listeners. We're getting lots of genuflections and crossing the chest, dotting the T's and crossing the I's. Crossing the I's. There you go. So yeah, we had about 3 weeks until there was a battle of the bands coming up at their school, and my first proper gig outside of the school stuff was November the 19th in 2002 at Rawlins Academy in Loughborough, and we played 4 songs, and it's the first time I also crowd surfed as well, which is quite cool.
Oh, I've never done that. I've never done it before. Have you done it?
It was the Vic Inn in Derby was,
Oh my God.
one of my first gigs as well. We all crowd surfed at the
I
end.
can't say I've done it often, but it was a packed hall. Like, I think there was something like 300 students there for this first ever sort of Battle of the Bands thing. It was amazing. Like, proper gave me the buzz. Like, this is what I want to do. You know, CFP in that incarnation lasted for probably about 6 years. I think we finished up in 2008. Played a few gigs, but it was very much like, you know, that kind of young upstart type band. Played a few songs, mostly sucked, but it was good stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you built friendships out of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Played a few shows. Played at the Rock and Blues Festival, so that's where.
Oh, quality.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was my first kind of opportunity to play a big sort of festival, so that was cool. And then CFP finished in, I think it was the April of 2008. And I started getting itchy feet around August, and I thought, I'm going to see what else is out there.
Yeah.
And answered this ad. Said it was looking for a singer for a band that's got gigs waiting, record label interest, this, that, and the other. I'm thinking, okay, based in Nottingham, right? Okay, so I'll see what they're like anyway. See if they want me in. So got in touch. They came back, said they wanted a session, bring me up, sent me over a couple of demos to listen to. One was a demo for listening to, and the other was a cover of the Prodigy's "Breathe."
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I remember that.
one.
Yeah, when they did that.
I thought, well, I can do that. So I learnt it off by heart, because it's pretty easy. You know, most people know that song anyway. And I thought I'll just throw some other lyrics from my old band over a couple of these other things that they've sent. So I went to the rehearsal studio and literally just like, I thought, okay, here we go. Knocked it out. I thought I did a pretty good job. And they said, yeah, they want to get me back. Gave me a couple more things to learn.
Yeah.
Brought me back in. That was it. They said, yeah, we want to bring you in. Do you want to be a part of Spirtyus? I was like, cool. Okay. And we started writing stuff a bit more. Little did I know at the time, they'd already been in existence as a band for a number of years. They had, 2 or 3 albums worth of material that they'd all just scrapped completely. And they were starting out as if they were a new band,
I can remember seeing them with a previous singer somewhere in Nottingham.
Joe.
Was it Joe?
Joseph, yeah.
I never saw them.
Can't remember where it was though. It might have been like, I don't know, Peggers or somewhere like that back in the day.
First floor, is it? No, not first floor.
It was Derby, that was. But yeah.
What's the one in? Is it Junction
7.
Junction 7. That was on the corner, wasn't it?
Probably,
Yeah.
It was probably
Maybe
there. It was probably there, to be honest.
Great little venue
I
that
love
was.
Junction 7.
Yeah, some good
I just
nights there.
brought back loads of good memories.
Yeah.
I say good. I say memories.
All a blur.
Some blurs from back then. That place was amazing.
My stand-up menu. Stand-up memory from Junction
podcast.
7 was... we went to go and see a band. I can't remember who it was, but they had a Jägermeister night on. Got absolutely wrecked. Went outside, threw up. And then I panicked and thought everybody had left me, so I ran home.
I was going to say, was that the night I was there? Wasn't I? That was the you running home night.
But then you messaged the next day like, Danny, where are you? It's like, flipping out. I've been gone for hours.
And why did you instinctively run home? Why not walk or try and...
I was that drunk, I couldn't read anything.
Oh,
I was like looking at signs.
Your eyes have always been poor, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's that. And then it was just like, God, I can't make sense of all this like text.
Oh no, I'm going to run home. I can't see properly. I'm going to run home.
Yeah,
I once
anyway.
walked home from a nightclub, but that was by choice.
I've walked home a few times, but never ran. I mean, look at me.
It was an 8-mile walk at 6 a.m.
I've not ran home.
Years later, we ran home together from Nottingham.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, I ran as well.
Yeah, Heather had to pick us up from Woolerton.
Well, because I was struggling.
I twisted my ankle
I remember.
on a curbstone.
I remember.
And I had to go to hospital because I'd like tore a ligament in my foot.
Yeah, you thought it was swollen, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very painful. Anyway, we were talking about...
We digress.
That's what we call a tangent.
Look, we love a good tangent.
Yeah. So that was August 2008. Played my first show with Spirtyus. We wrote a load of new music. So we played the first show in October 2008. And from there on, we started getting gigs. We were pushing for, trying to get bigger support slots with artists in, Leicester and Nottingham. 2009 was quite a big year. For 2009 and 2010, in fact, we played a fair number of big shows. We supported like Head PE, Shadows Fall, and then in a couple of years after that as well, we supported an Australian band called Grinspoon, Prong. Fortunately enough, in 2011, got to support El Nino on 4 shows, including 2 festivals, which was amazing. And then obviously, there was the Hard Rock Hell Ibiza, there was the show that they did in Glasgow. I think that was the Highway to Hell show, where we won an opportunity to get up to go and play in Ibiza. Obviously, there's Metal Hammers Festival, Hammerfest.
Yeah.
We played there 3 years running, 2010 through to 2012. Amazing. Yeah, played some really, really good shows over the course of the career and that with those guys. The usual thing with bands, like when you lose members, it just gets harder to replace members, So, we parted ways with one guitarist, and then a couple of years later, the other guitarist decided to leave. We already had a replacement, but we decided not to go for 2 guitars again. And then, you kind of swap it around a little bit. And before you know it, the last guy who came in was only in for about 9 months, because then, drummer and the bassist decided that they'd had enough of it, And you kind of, when it's just kind of run its course a little bit, you can't really, get angry at it. It's just, it is what it is, isn't it? So,
you can't really stop it at that point, can you? It's hard when people lose interest.
That band finished on a hiatus, so we're still on hiatus. We're not officially dead, but there's no real plans to kind of bring it back in any kind of guise.
20 years later show at some point.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Interestingly, I've had a couple of people say to me, you should do a little bit of reform gig or whatever, like, for charity or whatever. I don't think it'd happen. For one, I've got no time, just because of, the kids and stuff like that. I know I started out like mocking them and stuff, but at the end of the day, I want to give them 100%.
Yeah. Most important thing, mate.
That's it. So they need me right now, and I did a lot of my gigging and living my life early on. So right now it's their time.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
Fair play, dude. Fair play, dude. The first time I'd say discovered you.
Discovered?
Yeah. We were both at Download. It was my first year going to Download. 2009. It would have been 2009.
Probably.
See this? This is me about to play the Download card.
Insert sample here.
And, yeah, exactly. We went to watch Limp Bizkit. Can you remember? We went down.
Yeah.
I don't normally go down to the front for gigs, but I was like, I want to get down to as close to the front as possible. And then they fetched some dude out of the crowd.
Some random bloke.
Yeah, I'm sure it was was it Break Stuff?
It was Full Nelson.
Full Nelson.
In fact, there was 2 people. I was the second person that they pulled up.
I can't remember the first one, so...
Yeah.
You were the standout. Basically, it was Ryan. Ryan had been dragged out the crowd. Absolutely just smashed it. Smashed it.
I'll tell you a bit of the backstory around that. Some people thought that I was a plant. That's not the case, obviously. So, big Limp Bizkit fan. I'd been waiting for that show for a long time. Obviously, Wes Borland had left for a little while.
Yeah, of course.
And then these were their first shows coming back as the original lineup. I'm thinking, right, I've got to be there for that. So we were really late getting into Download because of the traffic on the way in. And I was thinking, God, I've got to get there. So as soon as we got in, went straight to the front, like left my other half and a couple of friends, and I was just down at the front as early as I could. So I think I stood through 2 more bands before that, worked my way to the front. And then I'm thinking, right, I'm here. I'm on the barrier. I'm ready. I'm wearing my Limp Bizkit t-shirt from, years back. We did 2001 tour on there. They come out and they're absolutely killing it. And every time Fred's anywhere, even sort of remotely looking in my direction, I'm kind of, I'm here, Limp Bizkit, making all the noises and looking at the face and everything. Literally, I'm getting crushed to hell.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The crush was unbelievable. I've said this before. There is no crush like a Limp Bizkit crush if you're at the front. Honest to God, it is just something else. It's just like people just need to be near the front, and there's like you can squeeze every last ounce of breath out of you.
Yeah.
But I'm still screaming every word, So then he pulls this guy out from over the other side, And I'm thinking, oh, amazing, that's well cool that is. And then he comes over our way and he's like, no, this guy, we want to give this guy on stage. No, not that guy, not that guy. And I'm like, he's looking at me. He's looking at me.
It's my chance.
This is me. Oh my God. Security are like trying to lift this guy out next to him and he goes, no, not that guy, not that guy. That guy. Like, and the security's like, oh, which one? Puts his hand on me and like, oh no, that guy. So then they haul me out and I'm just like
buzzing.
Absolutely buzzing. Like absolutely buzzing. So he brings me up on stage and I'm like, cool. I'm on stage with Limp Bizkit. There's 100,000 people there. Let's do this. You know, whatever this is going to be. You know, so I'm just jamming about on stage. See various members of, you know, the celebrity elite, kind of, you know, musicians on various sides and that kind of thing. Fieldy was over the side near where Wes Borland was. And obviously, like, Wes Borland is there in all of his get-up. And I'm like,
what a moment.
Yeah, full on.
And we saw you, so you smashed it as well,
losing my mind. And then, obviously, he passes the other guy the mic and he's kind of fumbling it about a little bit. But then he gives me the mic for the last line of the song, and I just thought, I'm going, mate. Here we go. Like, this is your tune. And so, yeah, I just delivered that last line, and he liked it. 6 weeks later, Limp Bizkit have announced that they're playing this show at the HMV Forum in London. So me and my friend Danny, like one of my best mates, you know, he was the DJ in Spirtyus, yeah. He was the drummer in CFP. I was like, look, we've got to go. So we go down there. We've got some Spirtyus demos with us. We're at the Bizkit show. I really early on, I was able to hand Fred a demo.
Decent.
And he took it and just put it at the back of the stage. I thought, that's going to get lost in the clean-up. But anyway, killer gig. Absolutely killer gig. Because obviously it's not just a festival show then. They're playing some of the older stuff. You know, I heard a couple of songs that I hadn't heard before live, which was really cool. And then, right at the end of the show, he kind of, like, they've played their last song, like, and you know that's their last song, but then he walks around to a couple of the guys on stage and says something, and then comes and stands right in front of me and says, I'm going to do this one last song because there's one guy, we pulled him up on stage, he fucking crushed it, and we're going to do one more song, come on, bring him up. I'm like, whoa! Like, mine is exploding at this point. So he brings me up on stage, and we did Full Nelson, and I got to do the whole song. Like, not just the last line, I did the whole song with him. It was incredible. Like, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it. Just absolutely incredible. Like, how often do you get to go up on stage when you're just a fan? Yeah. You know, you get to go on stage with a band, your band, you know what I mean? So yeah, I got to do the whole song. Fortunately, there is grainy footage of it on YouTube. You could check that out.
We'll stick it on our Instagram after the episode's landed.
There's just some awesome memories of that night, and then, you know, obviously, like, playing that download card again. 2013.
Here it is. That's our download card. Yeah, that's your download. That's our year.
It is your year. But again, so I'm at the front waiting for Bizkit to come on. They come on again. I'm wearing my Spirtyus shirt, but I'm also wearing my Limp Bizkit shirt, like flashing it at the bottom because I'm thinking, oh, come on, recognise me. Please do it again. Anyway, lo and behold, later on it happens again. And I'm like, oh my days. And they were closing the second stage on that show. So again, 60,000 people, mind blown. And that time, I then got to stay side of stage for the rest of the set as well. Yeah. Sort of a full circle moment. I watched them do Take a Look Around from the side of the stage, and they did the whole thing where, you know, they're building it up, and, you know, in the mid section, they get everybody to come down and crouch and all that kind of thing. And when it kicked in, my God, like, just the sea of people sort of, you know, raw, bouncing all over the shop. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
That's madness, isn't it?
So there you go. 2 download cards in one episode.
Well, we've got a slight Fred Durst story, because backstage, can you remember we were sat on the little beanbags with that Japanese band?
Oh, yeah.
Durr and Grey, was it? And then Fred Durst was on the other side, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
With like loads of women around him. I think he had loads of women around him, didn't he?
I remember him being there, but I can't remember loads of women around him, but it wouldn't surprise me.
And then Wes Borland was in a tuxedo, I think, randomly. Yeah. In the food tent. Wes Borland was there in a tuxedo.
As you do.
Corner walking round.
But that was,
amazing.
Credit due to Fred Durst, though.
I mean,
giving you a chance to come up on stage.
Not only did he make
isn't it?
That is mega,
he made my dream come true. Once, twice, 3 times. Like,
a lady.
Wow. 3 times a lady. Lionel. Commodores.
You can't get that one past me.
No.
Once.
They were really, really incredible moments that, like, fortunately, all 3 moments have been documented. We're in the age where a lot of stuff is now, filmed and it goes up on YouTube. Download 2009, that's 15 years ago. There's footage. It's there, and I watch it every now and then, watched it a little while back. Still mind-blowing. I look physically different to that now because obviously I'm, a 40-year-old man as opposed to...
We're all ravaged by age.
Yeah, right. Me more so than others. But yeah, it's incredible that footage is there now and I can see that. And I can show that to my kids, That used to be cool once,
Yeah.
Look,
kind of
watch it again.
Dad, I'm not watching it again.
Cheer like I'm on stage now. So where did we meet, Ryan? We'll move on in a second, but where did we meet?
Oh man,
I can't remember.
I think the first time, my very first,
I think I know
time that I remember talking to you guys. So obviously we played together in Ibiza that first year, 2010.
Yes,
I'm sure we played at, I want to say the Central.
That's exactly where we met.
The Central.
Oh, was that the
We
first?
played a show, I think about 2 weeks or something before that.
Yeah.
We had to this day, it remains the best merch bar we've ever put together because it looked like a little tiki
Yeah,
cup
it's
with
great,
loads of
wasn't
lights. It was amazing. And we sold a load of merch that night. But that's my first memory of properly meeting you two guys. We met Silas' singer, I think at a show at the Shed in Leicester, a few months before that.
Yeah.
But that's my first memory of seeing you guys because you guys played with us that night, and I was like, okay, this is another band I've never seen, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously we hung out, and that's where that's my earliest memory of meeting you guys, and
a beautiful friendship has blossomed from that point.
Beautiful friendship has absolutely blossomed. Yeah.
The amount of laughs we've had through the years, though, it's been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he nearly got killed. That
When did they get killed?
when we went to Mablethorpe.
Oh yeah.
You got knocked out by that, but I mean...
Oh yeah, I've been on one of them recently.
The killer thing. What, have you not learned your lesson, man?
And to be fair, I nearly had an accident on that too, didn't I?
Was that the one where you German suplex yourself into the ground?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm
hilarious.
still alive, right?
It's
Still
called
alive.
content.
It's called
Content.
kids' playground equipment, but is it really?
Well, it's not. It's to be tested, isn't it? I like to stress test all these things.
Yeah.
For the kiddies, of course. For the kids. If I can survive, kids can survive.
I'm not. Well, you're quite robust.
I'm getting less robust over the years,
I'm not robust. I've fallen apart at the seams.
Starting to crumble.
We were playing Frozen. What was it called? Frozen Unicorns. And basically, you pull a card out, and then you have to just act out what kind of animal you might. No, like an activity. Is it?
It was
It's an animal.
He has
isn't it?
like mime and animal.
Yeah, mime
basically.
and animal. Well,
Right.
He pretended to be a rhino, and ran into our sofa with his head. And his phone alerted him saying you've had high impact. Are you okay?
I'm a method
my
actor.
days.
I'm a method actor. I got into the role.
You got into it.
I got into the role, and I'm not going to let people down by doing
Commitment.
a poor rhino impression.
Commitment.
That's not me. I damaged my nose quite significantly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Damaged the sofa. Sofa's split in two.
It's probably cracked. Sorry. It's probably got a very poor skeleton on it now. My apologies. Shall we start the dream band process?
Let's do it.
Ah, here we go.
This is the bit we're here for. No one cares about all that other stuff, right?
No.
Limp Bizkit.
Pesto.
I care about pesto. I still want to know which bit.
Rhino impressions.
Yeah, I think the brand was called Zest.
We're gonna get you back for an extra episode where we do test pesto on your skin.
Very good.
But you
I'll
have
make
to
sure
pay
I've got
to
an-
listen to that one.
I'll make sure I've got an EpiPen.
That's behind the paywall because we'll need to buy some EpiPens in case. We haven't got a legal team, but if we did, I'm sure they'd try and stop us.
Does it matter where you inject it? Can it be anywhere?
Kill Bill's like in the heart, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it's got to be like jammed in the heart.
that kind of... Straight.
Bill did a lot of things
Oh yeah.
in real life.
Oh yeah. Should we talk about how he died?
That was a mood killer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, old men dying by wanking is not the best kind of chat, is it? Really? It's not what I want listeners want to listen to.
Anyway,
Back to the dream band process.
as you know, because I know you're a keen listener.
I am a keen
You're
listener.
One of our. You might be our
Every
biggest, our
single
biggest
episode.
fan.
He could be our biggest fan.
You have to be in this dream band.
I'm in
What
this-
do you want to do?
I'm in this dream band. It's pretty simple. I'm the vocalist.
There you go.
Let's not mess about.
We knew that.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I can do. I can't play guitar. I can't play keyboard. I can't do anything else.
Can you
really.
play bass?
No.
I'm pretty sure everyone can play bass.
Nah. Nah, can't do it.
I'll get it in there. I'm used to it by now. Some guitarists said like, "Oh, I just use MIDI keyboard normally for bass."
Yeah, I think bass is one of the most important parts of a lineup. So,
Well, you had in Spirtyus, you had Ben, who's incredible.
yeah.
And without him, that wouldn't really be Spirtyus, I don't think.
yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest, he had such an integral part of that sound.
This is it.
We need a new sample, bass praise.
A bass
Anybody
praise
that
sample.
praises a bass player. Yeah.
I'll record one in the style of Ben Edis. I'll just cover a Spirtyus track.
Do it.
That's one of his basses.
You've got permission. Chuck it in.
I don't need permission, Ryan.
That's called copyright theft.
I do what I fucking like.
Try me. What are you going to do? Call a lawyer? We'll just delete the episode, right?
Oh.
Then we all lose.
Well, you've got form.
Then no one wins. So you are the singer.
I am the singer.
If you weren't singing, do you have someone that would replace you?
Okay, so honourable mentions. I'm an avid listener, so I'm aware of the format. I have a number of honourable mentions. The first two I'll start with. Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage.
Oh, strong choice.
What a comeback, right? What a comeback for him as well.
Oh, do you know what? Fair play to the guy, because he left Killswitch because he wanted to spend time with his wife. He was struggling with stress and the touring and mental health. He went away, sorted himself out, and he came back. And I've met him as well. I got to meet him at Download. Really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. But from a vocalist point of view, one of my biggest influences. From a screaming, bringing that aggressive style and being able to sing and scream. Yeah. Just absolutely.
When he rejoined, I'd seen Killswitch a few times. Saw him like when he was there originally. Then I saw him with Howard a few times. When he came back, I was shocked by his voice. It's improved so much.
He pulls off the Howard era stuff like it's nothing.
I thought I'd miss Howard.
And I've got to be honest, I didn't really like Killswitch when they then made the switch to Howard. It took me a long while to warm up to Howard, and I actually like some of the stuff that Howard's done since then with Light the Torch. They're an incredible band.
I haven't listened actually.
Light the Torch are really, really cool. They've got some really neat sort of modern sounding metal tunes, but with obviously that Howard touch to them. Yeah. And it's really, really nice. But yeah, just with Jesse, Jesse's one of my biggest vocal influences from an aggressive sort of vocal style. And then the other names, couple of names that you're going to be very familiar with. Jonathan Davis, Korn, again, another one I'd have thrown in there. I've not seen a bad Korn gig. I really haven't.
Oh, it's so consistent over the years. I can't believe it's like 50 odd and it's still.
Yeah. What I like as well. So some vocalists, they go off stage and they'll have not asthma, what am I about? Oxygen, that kind of thing. John Davis don't hide it. He just stands there at the front of the stage. He has a bit of oxygen, carries on. And his performances are just brutal. Yeah. When he does the deep growl and screams and stuff, it's just. Earth-shaking.
I can't believe you can still do it after all these years.
I can't believe you can still do it either.
It's crazy how consistent it's been over every kind of era, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Madness, absolute madness.
Michael Bolton, really out of the blue choice, but actually it's not when you kind of understand my kind of musical upbringing. And there was a lot of Michael Bolton on in the house as we were growing up.
We've all been together, haven't we? That was what a day that was.
Do you know what? That was one of the greatest nights of my life. That was seeing Michael Bolton live, flawless vocals, and literally, it's not like a tape or anything. He is doing that there in front of you, and it's perfect. Slightly gutting. I took Alison to see him a couple of years ago, and he just wasn't on form.
Oh, was he not?
Yeah. It was good, but it didn't leave me with that. Oh wow!
He is 950 years old now.
Well, obviously, what we've since found out is he's suffering with a brain tumor, and he had to have surgery on it.
He did have surgery. Yeah, he's had surgery.
And so, he's out of action. Hopefully, he makes a full recovery because the world needs Michael Bolton.
We listened to his latest album, didn't we, on the way back from a recent holiday?
His voice is like honey. That's what we said.
Yeah, it's
so smooth.
Just want to lap it up.
So smooth.
Like a little kitten with a bowl of milk.
Have you listened to his first album, though? His voice is completely different, isn't it?
There you go. Old school. We've had Michael Bolton was a hair metal band at the time.
We often go back, don't we, and have a little listen to Michael Bolton.
Oh, yeah.
Mate,
We'd normally put a sample in there, Ryan, but you've just done it for us. Thank you.
very good.
Steel bars.
Final mention on the honourable.
around me.
Oh, I love that. Throw that in again. Where's the next line?
I'm not doing it all. I'm not.
I've been your prisoner since the day you found me. All right, no more.
The key change.
Yeah, we're going to get...
There'll be a
get
copyright law.
sued.
We love Michael Bolton, but he will sue the fuck out of us.
Final mention on,
With his
on
steel
the on the honourable mentions. Christian Mercado from El Nino, and now of Lions of the Gate. Just like some of the things that went from seeing them live, just how he conducts himself on the stage, throwing the hair about. Very, very small story. First time I got to see El Nino was in a venue called the Charlotte in Leicester. Tiny venue, well renowned. Loads of big bands. The shell of the building is still there. It's now flats and a shop. But anyway, so this venue is tiny. And there's 6 big sort of South American guys up on this stage. They're about to play the first song. They get the count in. If You Still Hate Me starts. And just as it kicks in, Christian flings his head down, start headbanging. I get smashed across the face with a load of dreadlocks. I was like, right, okay.
Dread whipped.
But it was like, you're in. Like, this is it. And it was just intense. An absolute sweatbox of a venue, killer show. And from that point, I was hooked on El Nino. And I listened to a lot of that music over, the last sort of 15, 20 years. And certainly I would say that a lot of my sort of singier type of things within Spirtyus were heavily influenced by Christian. So, shout out to Christian and Lions at the Gate.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them for years. I used to, that first album came out, was it Revolution, Revolution, or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Used to love them back then.
No, that's the second album.
Okay.
How Can I Live Without You?
How Can I Live? That's the second
Is that the
album.
second one? What's the first one?
The second album is Confession. And that song featured on the Freddie vs. Jason soundtrack.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's where I probably heard it first.
Yeah. So we've got some rules.
We've got some rules, baby.
Time for the rules, baby.
Right, he already knows what the rules are. He's
I know
an
the
avid
rules.
fan. Anyone in this band, you can't have been in a band with them before or present.
Yeah.
And you can't choose more than one member from the same band.
Yeah, so this is where I've got problems. Because
Well, you haven't.
up until right now...
It's not our problem. It's
So
your problem.
I've got a multitude of lineups. And I hadn't decided. I'm genuinely now, I'm that close to being either way, dependent on... Obviously, we're starting with the drummer. I've got 2 options.
Well,
and
let us introduce the drummer first, right? You're not...
one of my options is going to screw me right over.
Let me just say it. First up, your dream drummer.
Who are you picking?
Oh, this is so difficult.
Fucking love saying that, don't you?
I'm saying it now, man. I can't say it now.
Who are you picking?
I say it now just to make you laugh.
Right.
Who are you picking?
I'm going to say... I'm sticking with the lineup that I've put together.
Okay.
My dream drummer, John Otto from Limp Bizkit. Like the
Good
king
choice.
of the Ghost Note.
Take it to the Matthews Bridge.
Just, I don't know if you've ever watched some of the sort of YouTube clips that he's put out, or even just some of the Instagram clips that he's put out. I know for a while, Matt Alston, who's the drummer for Machine Head, was drum teching for Limp Bizkit. And Matt's quite, savvy with the content that he puts out. And while he was teching for Limp Bizkit, he was posting up multitudes of videos of John playing, from the back with the crowd in front, but you can see all of the intricacies of John's play.
Yeah.
It's just, I've loved Limp Bizkit for a long while, but John Otto brings it in that band.
Oh, yeah.
It's not often that sometimes, sometimes you can replace a member in a band and that band still functions, still sounds like the sound that they put together. There's certain albums that Bizkit put out previously where certain songs weren't recorded by certain people in the band of the original lineup, and you can tell. You can just tell. There's a particular song called The Truth by Limp Bizkit, and it's a great song, but John Otto is not on drums.
can
And you can tell.
Where's the groove? He's got such good groove, hasn't he?
Yeah,
It's brilliant. It is brilliant.
And that's one of the kind of cornerstones for me of this band. It needs to have some groove. It's all right being heavy, with the metal and all the rest of it, but for me, it's got to have a bit of flavour to it. And John Otto brings the
a little bit of
flavour.
spice.
Brings the flavour.
A little sprinkle of cinnamon on top.
No, not cinnamon.
Oh, I like cinnamon.
You can have the cinnamon.
I love cinnamon, yeah. I'd class that as a groovy
What would you
ingredient.
sprinkle on top?
Just a tiny bit of sugar. Tiny bit.
I wouldn't say sugar's a spice, though.
It's not spice. It don't need... I just said it needs flavour. It needs to be sweet.
MSG? Bit of MSG on top?
Nah.
Keep
No.
it.
We're back to food again, isn't it?
I love food.
Something about being a 40-year-old man that tells me...
Unfortunately, I'm not allergic to anything, Ryan, so I can just eat everything, as you can probably tell. That's my dad. I could do with a few allergies.
Alcohol.
Well, I've had my blood test. Let's see if
I mean, it used to make you sneeze, didn't it? You used to have whiskey and make you sneeze, so there must be
Whiskey
something.
would make me sneeze, yeah. Heavily.
Oh, dude, have you got a favourite piece of music?
Do you know what?
Favourite drum groove?
I was thinking about this, so I knew this question was going to come. And I don't know if I can say a particular favourite. Like, I will say, actually, there's one that I will say, just because I've seen him play it live, and it's just wicked. Nookie. So the song Nookie by Limp Bizkit, right?
I love that song.
Oh, when it kicks in.
Obviously, when they play it live, they start off with like a little sample drum loop, but then John Otto plays the loop afterwards, and it's just listening to the groove is so funky on it, and then out of nowhere, then you get the big chorus that comes in, and it's just massive. What I do like is when Limp Bizkit play live, certain songs they elongate the middle sections because obviously Fred's going to talk and hype the crowd and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When they do that live, that's what I like. Like, so Break Stuff is a prime example. That middle section, they do loads of sort of ad-libby bits in the middle.
Yeah.
But John, Sam and Wes are still doing that, kind of keeping it up, and there's all lots of bits of tricks and stuff in there. But yeah, if I was going to say a particular one, I'd probably say Nookie.
Great song. I love it. Oh, it's one of my favourites.
I went back listening to some Limp Bizkit, just admiring the production.
It's so crisp.
What's the two albums? The
Chocolate
Starfish, and then the one before it. I think the one before it's
Significant Other.
Yeah, that's got really good production as well.
Yeah.
Just class. It stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Even now.
Absolutely.
Great albums.
So there you go.
Great choice.
John Otto.
Have you ever met him?
Yes.
I was going to say, but like...
Yes.
But you never know, though. He could have just walked off.
Yeah, I met him in 2009 at Download.
At that.
And then at the Kensington HMV Forum in Kensington again that year, and then in 2013 again because I was able to go backstage afterwards and that kind of stuff. Met him then as well.
Decent guy.
Yeah, really cool. Oh, tell a lie, met him as well in 2015, Birmingham, because we went to see him in Birmingham, and again, really cool. Happy to have pictures, that kind of stuff. Just really nice people.
So you work well together in the band, do you think?
Yeah, 100%.
Boom.
Yeah, happy with that.
Honourable mention.
Oh, right. This is why it was so difficult, because if I go for John Otto, then I can't go for who probably would have been my first choice bass pick, which would have been Sam Rivers. So my honourable mention on drums is Jonathan Moffat, who is Michael Jackson's drummer.
Oh.
If you want to see what a really groovy drummer looks like, who is locked into his beat, you need to check out Jonathan Moffat. Like, watching some of his live videos, and in fact, since obviously Michael Jackson passed a few years back, Jonathan Moffat's been putting videos out on YouTube over the last few years. He plays with 3 bass drums.
What?
3 bass drums. He's got 3. So he has kind of where his hi-hat is, he's got the other pedal, but in front of his bass drum, his main bass drum, he's then got 2 pedals, and they all link to a particular bass.
Has he got 3 legs?
He does not have 3 legs.
Does he have does he have a particularly low appendage?
Speculation.
What I say is, check out a few of his videos where he plays some of Michael Jackson's songs, and you can see the intricacy that goes into it, because it's not just a straight beat here and there.
It's not a bum cha.
I genuinely, I lost count of the amount of cymbals the man's got. He's got cymbals behind him, and he doesn't turn around to play them.
Does he just?
Yeah. And he's playing, like when drummers will do they'll crash a cymbal and then stop it with the hand. He's playing those behind him. Like, I swear to God, you need to check this guy out on YouTube to see exactly how good he is.
Sounds crazy.
He's hitting cymbals behind him here and then stopping them both and then just incredible. Well, I definitely recommend checking out Scream, because he's done that one. Billie Jean's on there, Smooth Criminal. just check out some of his footage. And there is some older footage of him playing live with when they were touring History and that kind of thing.
Is he an old man?
Well, he's probably like 60 odd, something like that now.
Still capable.
Yeah,
Still a young man.
Absolutely. Well, if you look at obviously the drum channel Drumeo, check out Drumeo.
I love Drumeo
because they've done some clips of him playing some of these. Oh my god, it's incredible.
I just leave YouTube playing Drumeo sometimes because it's amazing.
Yeah. Just watching him play, he is the consummate professional. And I say absolutely locked into his beat. And I love how he plays in like dress shoes. He plays in smart shoes. I'm like, how are you playing that? Most drummers wear like Converse or they're barefoot or whatever. And he's there in his dress shoes playing 3 bass drums.
A tie?
Very smart waist jacket.
Oh,
tends to be a waist jacket.
Maybe like he's in Fleetwood Mac.
His tie's attached to the third pedal. Like controls it.
It looks like he's having some kind of seizure, and that's just his bass drum.
No, he's had some pesto.
It's funny you should say that because the way that he plays, he doesn't give. Some drummers are really animated when they play and they throw their arms into it. And
like
all
Lars.
over here,
like Lars. Looks like he's chewing a wasp.
Don't talk to me about Lars.
He gets a mention every time on this podcast.
Not on my podcast, you don't. Get him out of here.
He does. Let's keep adding him in through the entire episode. What a man.
The facial expressions, it's like he's so focused on like the beat.
So there's none.
It's just locked in.
He's delivering.
Locked in.
Delivering the goods.
Okay.
When I leave the building and you record the post, you can check him out there and you'll see what I mean.
Oh, we definitely will.
Check his videos out on like Drumeo and on his channel. You'll know what I mean.
Cool. Moving on to your dream. Are you having a rhythm guitarist or are you having another instrument?
I'm having 2 guitarists.
Okay.
And I'm having another that should become clear at some point later on.
Okay. Here we go. Your dream. Should we say guitar 1? Are they sharing
Guitar
duties?
1.
Your dream guitar 1.
Guitar 1.
Guitar 1.
So, yeah.
1.
This was difficult. So I got obviously a list of people that I thought, okay, yeah, you can go on the list. But then trying to narrow that down straight away, Wes Borland out of the equation.
Can't have him.
Can't have him.
He's got
It's not within the rules.
Not within the rules. He's got guest list.
Yeah.
But he's not in the band.
He's teching.
It's teching. Wes Borland on tech.
To be fair, I could probably see him teching for one of the guys that I'm going to have in the band.
So is guitar 1 your best guitarist?
No, because both guitarists that I've got are lead guitarists.
You gotta give one the number 1 spot.
I don't have to do that. It's my band.
It's my podcast.
Touche.
And if you carry on this behaviour, I'll just cut one of them.
I'll walk out. I'll
You
stop
won't
playing.
know till I've
I'll
edited
stop
it.
playing.
You
Like
won't
you
know
did.
till I've edited it.
Don't worry, I'll edit this one.
Okay, so guitar 1.
Guitar 1.
From the band Korn, Brian Headwelch.
Ooh,
Head.
yes, good choice.
Yeah.
Strong choice.
Strong choice.
I love his solo album.
Just, do you know what? Like,
It's better than Korn. Some of
better than modern Korn.
what I'll say is you can tell the difference in the songwriting when Head left the band.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think,
definitely.
Monkey's been quite open about that. Like,
Head
the
was Korn.
the pressure.
In terms of, like, song
you listen to
writing-wise.
the writing, and the heaviness comes from Head. Perhaps some of the different types of melodies and sort of the interlinking play comes from Monkey. Collaborating with somebody, you got somebody to bounce off rather than writing their own stuff. But yeah, I need that heaviness, and Head brings it in abundance. So,
Favourite song?
this is really cliche, but Blind.
Oh,
You got to take it. I mean,
Yeah.
Korn have been, around 30 years this year. They just celebrated their 30th anniversary. That song hits hard. Even now, listening to it. In fact, there's live recordings that if you listen to on a really good system, absolutely blow you away listening to that song. I've got goosebumps. That song is just incredible.
I think I said it in one of the last episodes we did. It's one of the songs that got me playing bass.
Yeah, man.
It's one of the songs that got me playing music in the first place.
It's just simple, but oh my God, effective.
That intro though as well.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's nothing like it, is there?
Yeah.
And when Korn normally start a set with it, don't they?
Yeah.
What a song to start a set with.
It's one of those songs that just, I think, transcended time, because if you listen to it now, it still sounds big. there's no way of getting away from it. There's some songs that are just huge, and you've just got to bow down to them.
It's an anthem, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. So, yeah, Head. He's my guitar number one.
Have you ever met Head before?
I haven't. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
He seems like quite a funny guy. I can remember all the old Korn. I had the Korn DVDs back when I was younger. Don't know where they are nowadays. But he seemed like quite a funny guy.
Yeah, I really like to meet them, but just the situation never arose. Closest I got to Korn was seeing Fieldy side of stage at Download.
Yeah, I think I saw him in 2013 as well, Fieldy, but I can't remember seeing Head. I don't know if Head was back then or not.
I remember seeing Fieldy and Head.
He rejoined.
Head as well.
He rejoined in 2013.
Okay, so that was in his first year back then, like touring, I imagine.
Yeah.
We were in Curry backstage in that nice tent. The artist tent.
I can remember Fieldy, but I can't remember.
Fieldy and Head was there as well. I remember seeing Head. He's flipping huge.
It's tall guy.
Some people seem to have like an aura about them, don't they?
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's just a rock star aura, isn't it?
I think, you've seen them on MTV and Scuzz and Kerrang for so many years.
They become larger than life, don't they? Are we doing honourable mentions for this, or should we wait till the next guitarist?
Let's move on.
Should we move on to guitar 2?
You can have guitar 2.
Your worst guitar, your least.
It's not
guitarist.
my least favourite guitarist or the worst guitarist. Been lead guitarist in 2 majorly signed bands. Aru Luster from Machine Head, also of Il Nino, and now of Lions at the Gate.
Ah, yes. He's another big dude, isn't he?
Do you know what? Right.
Dude.
So he's deceptively big. Like, it looks small, but that's probably because the rest of the guys in those kind of bands are huge.
Yeah.
They're all really tall guys. They've all got dreadlocks chucking out left, right, and centre, like imposing sized guys. So so when you look at Aru next to those guys, he looks a little bit smaller, but actually he is a little bit bigger.
Unit, absolute.
But yeah, in terms of guitar wise, like I really love the kind of flavour that Aru brings to. Well, brought to El Nino, now to Lions at the Gate. I love the way that he plays. He's just got something about how he plays. I like watching him live. I saw El Nino so many times. The last count that I can remember getting to was 27.
Quite a few.
Yeah. I lost count after that. There was multiple after that. I can't remember how many after.
And then sharing a stage with them as well, mate.
Yeah,
it's been awesome, hasn't it?
Yeah, I got to share the stage with them a couple of times. The first time I did that was in Nottingham. Spirtyus was supporting them that show.
Where was that?
The Rescue Rooms.
Rescue Rooms.
Yeah.
Was I there?
I can't remember if you were there. I was there. I can't remember if you were there.
Rich was there. You were there.
I'd be surprised if you weren't there.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you weren't there.
I can't remember.
You were probably at the bar.
I probably had a few whiskies.
Yeah.
Probably.
Sneezing in the corner.
Yeah, so there was that one. And then on that same tour was the show that we were playing with them that week. So they were the 4 shows that we played with them. So we played with them at a festival called Kick Out the Jams in London. And then we played that show in Nottingham. Then we played the Friday at Hammerfest. And then the Saturday in Nuneaton at the Queen's Hall. And they then went on to a couple more shows, and I think it was the Tuesday night. I finished work and I drove down to Brighton, and I did another show. Like, I thought I just want to see the last show of the tour, and they got me up to do a song down there as well, which is cool.
Wicked.
But yeah, for my second guitar, Aru Luster, I think they complement each other in a really sort of weird way. They're not the same sort of music, but I think that the two together would work quite nicely.
I can see
because
it
they
working.
bring slightly different styles, which would bring each other out a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
Yeah, multiple times. Yeah.
Good guy?
Yeah. Facebook friends.
Are you Facebook friends?
I'm Facebook friends. Yeah. Before Lions at the Gate released a lot of their material, he sent me the song that they'd done with Tatiana from Ginger.
Oh, yeah.
A song called Find My Way. And yeah, so I got a sneak peek of that, which was quite nice. But yeah, no, really, really great dude.
And do you think you'll fit with the band so far?
Yeah.
In terms of personality-wise and stuff?
Yeah.
I think so, from a creative perspective.
Yeah, from a creative point of view. He's a really chilled dude as well.
You definitely got a vibe going so far, Ryan.
That's what I'm looking for. It's a groovy vibe.
Yeah. They've all got
That's what I'm looking for.
They've all got the groove, mate.
Absolutely. There's one thing that underpins my band, it's groove.
And moving on to groove, because it is probably the most important part of groove, I would say, your dream bass player.
I'm going to wind you back a second. You haven't done your honourable mentions.
I I got too excited. I got too excited. So, Ryan, onto your honourable mentions.
Yeah, man.
For Guitar 1 and Guitar 2.
A couple of these are quite obvious. Wes Borland, again, can't go in the band.
No.
Yep.
Another one, almost obvious, but not quite. Jennifer Batten,
Who's that?
For Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's lead guitarist.
Ah.
Just, obviously, she's a killer shredder. She wouldn't have been playing for Michael Jackson if not.
Obviously.
But also, just the stage look that she rocks.
Yeah.
Wild. Like, that
I
was...
don't think I've ever watched her before. I need to have a little look at that.
I think she's one of the kind of things that I fell in love with about rock and roll, music. Like, I think it was Dirty Diana or Give In To Me, and she's like wailing on the guitar and she's flinging the hair around. She could have gone in there. Then a couple of my other ones, Lee Malia from Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh.
I mean, clearly, Bring Me the Horizon have got riffs for days. So, clearly they're coming from one place. So he can really write a heavy hook.
Yeah.
So that was another one for me.
Yeah.
And then I've got another one. I've got two more. So Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine.
The effects master.
The Drop D man.
He just
Is that what you call him? The Drop D man?
I do. I think when I think of Drop D, that's the first time I ever heard like a guitar tune to Drop D. So like,
Oh.
I really like the way that he plays his guitar. Like
He's non-standard. He's a non-standard guitar player.
It's left of the middle. That's what I like. And then my final one was Adam D from Killswitch Engage.
oh, I thought,
You know,
I thought you were going to
legend.
mention him at some point.
Do you know what, man? Like,
One of the most entertaining guitarists in the world.
do you know? At first, I really didn't like him. I'm like, just stand there and play your guitar, man. Like, you don't need to run around like a buffoon
With a cape.
But then actually, like, he does that, and the guitar doesn't even break from what it's supposed to
I
sound
know.
like. He is that good,
and he's having so much fun.
Yeah, and I find that infectious.
That's the thing. It is.
You can tell the guys on stage are having a great time.
He's an infectious guy.
Not only that, but if you look at his work in Times of Grace when they did that first album, like, that is a phenomenal album. You look at Alive or Just Breathing, the Killswitch Engage album, again, phenomenal, like, genre-defining album. And then you find out Adam D wrote most of that album, played drums on it, did all the guitar work. I'm like, what?
I know.
Guy's an absolute machine. But I think the reason I went with the two guitarists that I did is I want a little bit more melody and groove to go with the heaviness.
Yeah.
Head,
It's understandable.
Head brings the heaviness and can groove in with the drums that I've got, and obviously the soon to be announced bass player. And then obviously Aru brings a lot of the flavour and the melody.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with those guys, and everybody else is on the side benches.
Fair enough. Great choices
lineup
so far.
Oh, great
same
lineup
thing.
so far.
Said the same thing.
Right, we're back.
We're back. We've had a little break, haven't we, Danny?
Yeah, we're going to have to explain why this part might sound... Anything from this point on might sound a little bit different.
To previous.
Essentially, we have two small children at home with us, and when we were up here for the recording, we ran out of time, and they obviously had to go to bed, so hence why part 2 coming right up.
And if I sound any different, it's because I've been forced to put my nose against the pop shield and not move for the entire episode. I might be a little less funny this episode, but you might prefer that.
Still lightly entertaining.
No, I'm not even claiming that anymore.
Well, we've just checked what we've already done, because it's been a few months.
I had completely forgotten.
But the Dream Mama next is...
The Dream Bass Player, my favourite. Who are you picking?
Who are you picking?
Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, strong.
Ooh. What do you think about his tattoo? Let's get to the serious stuff first.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? More power to you if you can rock a tattoo that's like that hardcore level of blackout. Fair play.
He looks like he's wearing an American football kind of gear, protective gear,
pads.
doesn't he? Yeah.
It does.
It's like he's had American football pads tattooed on.
Yeah, it does.
And he is a beast, isn't he? He's a beast of a man.
Yeah.
So,
He's a beast of a bass player, hence why he's in my band.
Exactly. Should we talk about the bass playing aspect of it a little bit more, maybe?
He makes a Stingray look tiny, doesn't he?
He does.
He's got a certain groove that I think would fit well with John Otto in this band.
Absolutely.
So, hence why, if you've got somebody like John Otto on drums, you need somebody that's going to bring a level of aggression, but at the same time, a real solid groove that just flows in and out of the songs. For me, that's the sort of thing that he's going to bring.
I'd say they're a perfect fit together, those two.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they've not done anything together before. To be honest.
It's one of those things, because obviously going back Korn and Limp Bizkit did a couple of tracks. They've obviously had people guest on things, that kind of thing. It does surprise me that, you know, those guys haven't done something. I wouldn't be surprised if something at some point comes out, but they do feel like a really solid team. The rhythm section is really, really strong there.
Yeah, that's rock solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's like, overall bass sound is just mammoth.
And his use of
So
effects
good.
as well.
Yeah,
Does he use
exactly.
much effects? I can't think off the top of my head with...
Yeah, he's an effects beast as well.
Oh, wow. I know he uses like a dual amp. He's got like a clean bass amp, hasn't he? And then like a dirty, gritty kind of high end. But
Again, it's the power's all in the fingers, isn't it?
yeah, awesome.
And
player.
that's something that I was really, really, not what's the word? I can't remember what the word is, but like that's adamant about.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna have a bass player in there, the type of music we're gonna be playing, it's gonna necessitate really strong finger play.
That's what he's known for.
We're laughing at. We're laughing at.
That's what she said.
Strong finger play. Tim Comerford.
Tim Comerford, strong finger play.
Tim Comerford.
I like to think that a certain Mr. Ben Finch would be approving of that bass choice.
He would absolutely choose.
yes.
Yeah, he'd 100% approve of that. Have you got a favourite track by him or anything? Anything that stand out to you, bassline?
There's one that I really like, Renegades of Funk.
Nice.
Yes.
Because it's very... you think of Rage Against the Machine, one of the first things you think of is obviously Zach De La Rocha's like really angry, you know, almost guerrilla-style vocals. Second thing you think of is... I can't remember the guy's fucking name.
Tom Morello on guitar.
Tom Morello's like really, really intricate, wild, slightly quirky, out there guitar style that he has.
Yeah.
But, so for that particular song, the way that the bass leads a lot of that song, I really love that. Because sometimes you don't necessarily always have to go with what the guitarist is doing.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
to be at the forefront of the song. For those that cannot see, Dan is currently giving Danny the finger.
Oh, God.
Strong finger play.
Can we just be, for the listeners, not in the style of Tim Comerford?
Very good.
Is it giving the bird? Is it
Flipping the bird.
Flipping the bird?
Giving the bird.
Yes,
I don't know.
He's giving me a bird.
no, he's not giving you a bird. He's flipping the
Flipping
bird.
the bird, indeed. Yeah, he does lead. He does a lot of the lead kind of.
Yeah.
It's the main kind of backbone, and it gives Tom Morello the freedom to do what he likes.
That's a brilliant point. Well done.
Thank you, Danny.
That was
Thanks
lovely.
for acknowledging that.
I genuinely mean that. That was excellently put.
Yeah.
It sounded insincere to me originally.
Yeah, I know. It's because I went over the top, that's all.
Of course. Not like you.
You know what? This is going to absolutely piss you off.
Oh, God. Oh my God.
Hit me.
I think it's going to be great to hear Head with a great bass player.
Oh my
So basically what you're doing is you're throwing Reginald Arvizu under the bus.
dude. Corn would not be Corn without Fieldy.
No, but what would Corn be with Timmy?
Well, we've heard Head without Corn.
Yeah, but you
I
ain't
think it's better.
heard Korn with Tim Comerford.
Head's solo album's amazing.
Yeah, it is really.
You can
first, what is his
you know,
first
what, I
one?
put two and two together, and this is no disrespect to anyone in Korn, but when Head left the band, I'm sure there's interviews floating around where Monkey was saying like he was really struggling with the songwriting because he felt the pressure. But then you listen to some of Head's material on his solo albums, and it's clear who the main songwriter
It's Corn.
was.
Yeah,
It's Corn,
it is.
isn't it?
There's
It's the
There's
essence.
things you can pick out of there and just go drop that over there. That's on a Korn album.
Well, I say it's the essence. It is missing. I do think it's missing Fieldy's bass, especially from the first few albums. Those first few albums would not be Korn without Fieldy.
Yeah, that
later on, it
the way that he
relevant.
plays and smashes those strings and the tap-in sound that is,
it's
is made so
It's horrible. We've talked about it before. It's a horrible, horrible sound, but it works perfectly with Korn's
it's
dark.
instantly recognisable.
Exactly. So
So
Danny,
therefore, this is a 2 against 1.
Fuck
You're
you.
wrong.
No,
fuck you.
I'm just saying. I think Ryan's creating a stronger band than Korn.
Oh my
Right now.
That's a bold claim.
I mean, Korn currently, yes. I agree completely.
I think it's because my ear favours that kind of the bass sound of Rage Against the Machine.
I think to most people
I
it
like
does.
that
have a
big-
creaky chair.
That bit, yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
That is a chair, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Ryan's spine.
It's my new musical instrument.
Is that being in the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that bass sound of Timmy. It is Timmy, isn't it?
Timmy? I don't
Tim
think he goes
Comerford.
by Timmy.
Yeah.
Tim.
Tim.
Timmy.
It's full of body. There's more mids. It's more punchy.
I assume you've seen him live.
I have not seen Rage Against the Machine live.
Have you seen Audio Slave live?
Audio Slave.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So you have seen him.
Yeah, but let's
not the same.
let's not mess about. Audio Slave, great super group.
Yep.
But it wouldn't be the super group without the people in those bands being in the huge bands that they were in beforehand. And Rage Against the Machine, that's one band that I have not managed to see live yet for various reasons, just because I've missed and they don't play very often.
No.
They're a bucket list band for me.
Oh,
I don't think I've never seen them either, have I seen them before? You'll know more than I do.
I've not seen Rage and I've not seen Audio Slave, but I've seen Soundgarden. There's the connection.
Have I seen any of them? I thought I'd seen Audio Slave and
No.
Download once.
What's Tom Morello's band? He's got like a project, hasn't he?
I think it's the Tom Morello Experience.
It will patch in. Tom Morello also has a band called The Prophets of Rage and The Night Watchman. Yeah. Have you got any honourable mentions?
Obviously, Sam Rivers.
Yeah.
Can't have him because clearly my drummer is who he is,
Yeah.
and you have rules. So,
We do. We enforce.
and
with-
I respect the rules. I respect the rules.
God, nice to hear that.
It made me have to really, really think. As other guests have said, it's quite hard.
It'd be too easy without the rules, wouldn't it, though?
Yeah.
I mean, we have to enforce these to make a more interesting band.
Yeah.
You just pick half a Limp Bizkit and half a bloody Rage Against the Machine otherwise.
Not quite. Not
Be ra-
not quite. Not quite.
Well,
but,
I know,
but
but-
almost.
but almost, yeah, exactly.
Be Rage Against the Biscuit.
Rage Against the Biscuit.
Rage Against the Biscuit with a sprinkling of creamed corn.
Yeah. I did have honourable mentions. I have.
Is Fieldy on there?
Yes, he is.
Is he really?
Yeah.
There you go, look.
But basically, the three that I came down to were Tim Comerford, Fieldy, and Sam Rivers.
All very groovy bass players.
The type of music that I'm envisaging this band creating, and the sort of music that I grew up on and like to make, has groove. It has to start with the groove. Likely, it's probably going to be aggressive at some point.
I expect so.
But I want music to move you.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from.
Just like, to be fair, that's the essence of Spirtyus, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you haven't listened to Spirtyus, have a look, check out on YouTube and all that jazz. Because
you ain't going to find it on Spotify because it's not on there. We're working on that one.
I think Heather's working on it.
We want to get those albums up.
Both the Spirtyus debut album and Fundamentals EP are both now readily available on all streaming sites. Enjoy.
But there's definitely some live videos out there, right?
Yeah, there's a few live videos out there. What's funny is I put one on the other day for my daughter to watch. Saying, that's Daddy, watch it. She's not interested. Get Like Nastier back on, or Cocomelon or whatever it is. Just literally just shot my dreams down right there.
She'll love it one day. She's too young at the minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, get yourself listen to some Spirtyus because if you like the people that Ryan's mentioned so far, you'll love Spirtyus.
Spirtyus.
There you go.
You'd be amazed at the amount of misspellings.
You got some music videos online as well, haven't you? Still.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty to watch.
There's at least 3 or 4 videos on YouTube, like music videos that are on there. I think.
Bro.
Even randomly, somebody made a fan video for a song that we didn't release. So that's out there as well. If you're into Japanese anime.
Oh wow, that's dedication.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
We'll have a look at that after this.
Yeah.
I am a fan of some Japanese anime, not the weird stuff, obviously, not the tentacle porn, but the
What?
Oh, Danny's had a sheltered life, bless him.
Oh, dear me. As have I.
I'll show you after.
A group watching of...
I can't remember what it's called, but I can Google it.
That Squid Game? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
The tentacle porn, yeah.
Squid Shame.
There you go, Danny's made one. Cool, so that's your dream bass player. Thank you, Ryan.
It is.
Indeed. Well, you've already picked 2 guitarists, but are you having a lead guitarist as well? Are you
No,
right?
so I've got 2 guitarists, I've got drums, I've got bass. I'm also going to have a sampler.
A sampler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Your dream sampler.
Who are you picking?
From the recently reanimated pun fully intended, Linkin Park, Joseph Hahn.
Joseph Hahn, Mr. Hahn.
Mr. Hahn.
Oh, cool.
And he's a handy tool to have, isn't he?
Yeah, do you know what? I've got a lot of respect for bands that use samples within their lineup.
Yeah.
I've been in, obviously with Spirtyus, we used to play samples, but we never played with a click. This is something that's quite interesting to me because obviously like these bigger bands do play with a click.
Yeah.
The samples are at a set speed, the drummer's got a click in the ear, and the song will be the same tempo. Spirtyus used to fluctuate that, and Danny would adjust the tempo when he was then playing samples because he used to, most of his samples were played, there were actual vinyls that he would play off.
Yeah, I remember,
Rather than, running samples through a computer or whatever. So we used to adjust the tempo. But coming back to Mr. Hahn, there's something that I like about the way that he throws himself about behind his kit, which I think presents a slightly different sort of visual for when you're looking at a band. But at the same time, also, it's the extra element that he's bringing to the sound. It thickens that sound out a little bit. It's not just two guitars and a bass. Yes, it's going to be groovy and it's going to be aggressive, but actually just adds that extra dynamic to the music.
He looks like he's doing something.
Yeah.
Which some samplists, they don't look like they're doing anything half the time, do they?
Yeah. The thing for me is, if you're going to have samples on your music, you need to be able to replicate that live, and it's very easy to just go with I need to put my phone on silent.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just go with samples on a click track and just play it in the background. And actually, I think there's I like it, don't get me wrong, but I think sometimes there can be an element of it doesn't sound authentic. You know?
I get that. Yeah.
And I want the samples to be being played or triggered real time
With some energy.
Yeah.
With some energy, I get that.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like sampling stuff, it kind of brings production stuff to life in a live setting for me. It's like seasoning for the main meal.
Seasoning.
It's like a soundscape seasoning.
Yeah.
I know you don't like this band, Danny, but when you see Deftones live, especially in a venue rather than kind of in a festival setting, it really creates an atmosphere that you don't get.
They got a DJ then?
Yeah, they got
Incubus do it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love
obviously Limp Bizkit. Head PE back in the day used to do the same thing.
Really?
DJ Product, I think his name was.
DJ Product.
So, it's a thing that if used in the right way can really, really add a level of, a different level of spice to go on top.
A different level of spice. There you go.
I like it.
Greatly put.
Just going back to Danny, how you were saying that he was adjusting it's worth like referencing the fact that he was actually a drummer, a percussionist, wasn't he? Because so that I think that kind of mindset was very useful.
Very much so.
During his time.
He was the drummer in my very first band. Well, I say my first band. The first band that I joined, he was already in there, and that's his passion. That's what he's gone back to. He's now playing for a band called Last Edition.
Oh wow,
nice.
Gone back to his roots, ska punk
really?
type band. Yeah.
I can imagine him in that actually.
Really, really, lots of fast drumming, and also like lots of big choruses, trumpets and stuff.
Oh, wicked! We'll have to when they've got a show. We'll have to go and see him.
Definitely.
It'd be nice to see.
Not seen him for
ages.
Yeah. Shout out Danny Jones.
Hi, Danny.
DJ Calamity. That was his nickname. But that's another story.
Why? No, tell us a story, Ryan. Why was his name DJ Calamity?
Because you could guarantee that he'd always forget something, including his
decks,
his mixer. Once he left the mixer at a venue.
Brilliant.
He used to take apart. He used to. For those that don't know, he used to bring around a bunch of wood that he would then construct a DJ table out of with a drill and some screws.
With his drill kit.
And one time he left his drill at a place, so he then couldn't take the thing apart.
It was like an episode of, what was that American DIY program with Tim Allen from the 90s?
Oh, Home Improvement.
It was like an episode of Home Improvement.
You
never knew where this podcast is going to go.
DJ Calamity. There you go.
I started watching that. It was dead good.
Have you got any honourable mentions?
I've kind of named them. DJ Product for Limp Bizkit, DJ Lethal, absolutely hands down. He's the sort of person that fires those samples off as well.
Exactly.
Like killer, And it's interesting because certainly on certain songs, you've seen some of the videos of Limp Bizkit playing live in the last year or so. They're playing way faster than the record. So that tells me that Lethal's scratching in real time, as opposed to playing triggered samples or whatever. Because the band are ridiculously faster. I think there's a video out. I think it was some like South American country. They opened up with My Generation, and it was ridiculously quick. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, if I was singing that, I'd be out of breath. But you know, Fred's up there jumping about, singing it, and Lethal's there scratching and playing samples and all the rest of it. So it's live, it's there. That's what I like.
Some styles of music benefit from playing to a click, don't they? You know, like if you go and see Meshuggah. I mean, I assume...
Can it be done without a click?
I'm assuming they play to a click.
Oh, definitely.
Sure, like bands when they're playing that technical, but when you're talking about serious groove...
It's natural, isn't it? It's natural. It's more of a natural reaction to things, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can feed off the crowd, and it kind of it's like a two-way thing, isn't it, with the crowd?
Yeah.
It breathes, doesn't it?
It breathes. That's Danny, that's a great way of putting it.
I know.
Thank you, Dan.
I know we've been talking about this band a little bit on text and stuff. So I'm going to see them next month, in fact, in Cambridge. So it's Novelists. French band.
Mate, I've really got into them, you know, since you told me.
Do you know what, man? Like, they're a 5-piece, so vocals, 2 guitars, bass, drums, but they've got like almost like a soundscape behind the music as well.
Awesome.
They incorporate like digital samples and this kind of stuff. My God, it's like an absolute wall hits you when the sound's going, and it's killer, absolutely killer. So, you know, if done in the right way, depending on the type of, you know, samples or extra sounds that you're throwing out there, it can be done in the right way with or without a sampler. But for me, I want a sampler in there playing live and, you know, throwing down.
Awesome, dude. What do you think to Linkin Park's latest album? Have you given it a listen?
I have given it a listen on Spotify. I gave it a listen once when it first came out. A couple of songs that I like that sort of really stand out. Some of the music, say, leaving out Emily Armstrong for a second, so some of the music sounds to me like early Linkin Park, somewhere between like a Hybrid Theory and maybe the second album. I can't remember, Meteora.
That's a great album.
So there's some really sort of catchy hooks on there that sound somewhere in that vein. Throw in Emily Armstrong on there, and I think, you know, she's got a killer set of pipes. I think she sounds enough like Chester that people will be happy about it, but at the same time, she's got her own grit, a gravel on the voice that really differentiates her from, you know,
anything else,
from sounding like Chester. Let's face it, anybody coming into that band as a second vocalist was always going to lose, you know, because the fans are always on about Chester this, Chester that. Rightly so, but I like what they're doing and presenting it as a sort of a new era of Linkin Park and trying to pay homage to Chester.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of good songs on it, but I think it's overproduced for me.
Isn't everything these days?
I know it doesn't have to be though, does it? But I suppose it was always going to be with Linkin Park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And a new album.
I think
there he is.
I think there he is on the old tablet. Just so talking about production.
Oh yeah, go for it. We love it.
I've gone a little bit extra as well. So the guy that would be producing this band is Ross Robinson.
Classic.
The sound that, not to say that, like, you know, Ross Robinson is new metal all over, but he would he would get the sound that I'm looking for on this, and it wouldn't be. I would be looking for as much authentic production. And when I say authentic, I mean literally mic in front of an analog desk as opposed to...
He's very raw, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
He's one of my favourite producers, but mainly solely for the Korn's first album. The darkness of that and how raw everything is, and the sound of that drum kit, the sound of the bass. Yeah. He got the greatest performance out of Jonathan Davis as well on that album. Yeah. But he didn't recreate it when he went back to Korn later on.
No. But then I think it was a snapshot in time as well, you know. But I think I would like to see what Ross Robinson could do with this lineup. And I'll be very, very happy to work with him.
Oh, wow.
You've got a job, Ross.
I'm just looking through Wikipedia. His
I know, he did
back catalogue.
He's on all sorts.
Do you know what his nickname is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
The Godfather of Nu Metal.
There you go.
And interestingly, I'm not really thinking this band would be a nu metal band, because it wouldn't. I don't think with the players that you've got in this band. Yeah, there's almost a. I don't want to say they're too good for it, but the type of sound that they would create you can't just stick it in a nu metal genre. We're trying to transcend that because it has a different level of groove to it.
Groove. There we go.
Question. Singer or frontman?
Some people always say the singer, but I prefer the term frontman,
Oh yeah.
You are a
for this,
frontman, right?
yeah,
Because
you are a
it
frontman, yeah.
isn't just singing. You're going to be screaming. You're going to be rapping, but also there's an element of crowd control in there.
Showmanship.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at good, incredible frontmen. First person that springs to mind, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
He got you in the palm of his hand when he's on that stage.
From the start.
He was the world's greatest.
It's all about the show. It's not, and I took this from Gene Simmons as well, like talking about a gig being a show and not just a gig, and it creates a different perception in your head. Like you're going to see a show, because realistically, you're not just going to go and stand there in a room with a blindfold on. You're watching a band.
Yeah.
So you're not just listening, you are taking in the whole thing. You're seeing the crowd reacting to the band. You're seeing the band reacting to the crowd. It's a two-way thing. You're seeing a show.
It's an audio-visual experience.
It is an audio-visual experience.
And the smell as well.
Oh,
Attached to it.
I've not been to a gig before where they've introduced smell as part of the show before.
I've been to a gig where someone has introduced a smell
so
at
you-
a gig.
yeah.
And
Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me for?
Yeah, looking around, and then you give somebody the swift elbow. Move away.
In the face. Yeah, I've never been to a smell gig before, Danny. Have you been to a smell experience before?
Are you kidding? Every gig you go to, it smells of something.
Yeah, I'm not talking.
Usually, it smells of dude.
That's not normally.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie Mercury didn't introduce that element, did he?
I can't.
You can't say.
I can't say.
You're not committing to that.
Speculation.
Speculation. Brilliant.
But yeah, so there you go. Frontman for me.
Amazing dude. And you've had many years in Spirtyus.
Yes, indeed. 10 years ago, this year was our last gig, which seems ridiculous.
Oh my God. Where was your last gig?
At the Sal
Sal.
in Nottingham.
Was we there?
I think we supported you.
I'm pretty...
Was it
Pretty short, yeah, Chunk, yeah.
Chunk was
Pretty
there.
sure.
Was it? I want to say...
That was a great show.
was it a band called Parasite?
It will be Tom.
Yes, it was Tom
Platz and Danny De La Cruz.
Yeah, Danny. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've had Danny on, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get Tom Platz on.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they were the support, but I can't.
They were actually. I can remember it now.
And they were about 7 years old.
They were about
Yeah.
honestly,
And
I mean,
absolutely slayed.
They may or
crowd.
may not have been 18 on the day of the show.
They definitely were 18.
They definitely were.
I think Danny was about
Yeah.
10. He's only about 17 now.
Yeah. I have to say as well, very much getting itchy feet. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking. I've got some ideas. We'll talk after.
And Danny, another project for you.
Another project
No,
added to the list.
I've got some ideas, but for now, just kind of basking in the nostalgia that is Spirtyus.
It's nice to bask.
Yeah,
But sometimes you want
definitely.
to get out of the sun and do your own thing, don't you?
Yes.
Beautifully put, Dan.
To be honest with you, I feel like I've been in the shadows for. I feel a bit like Batman about to reveal himself.
I feel like Rasmus.
I've been in the shadows for too long.
Where are they?
I thought he was quoting Rasmus in the shadows.
No, wrong Rasmus.
With his he's got like an entire crow in his hair, hasn't he?
It's been woven, I
Can you
think,
remember?
by 1,000 crows.
It's like he's got a murder in his head.
It's got crow-headed singer. Anyway, if you weren't singing, Ryan,
Yeah,
a crow.
yeah.
Hey, up! He's got his tits out.
He's just revealed himself.
It's actually a raven, but anyway.
I'm calling the police.
Get your raven out.
He's exposed himself.
Let's summarise. Summarise.
Ignore the name, please, on there, because I can't be able to change the name to you.
Your drummer.
John Otto,
Your guitar one.
Aru Luster,
Guitar 2.
Head,
Your bass player.
Tim Comerford,
Sampler DJ.
Joseph Hahn,
And your vocalist is
me,
Ryan Walton.
Ryan Walton,
And your producer would be,
Ross Robinson.
Great band, dude.
yeah, rock
It's
solid
bringing
band.
back some nostalgia. I love it.
So,
Name your dream band, baby.
name the band, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Name
You know
that band.
So I was really stuck with this because sometimes like you really got to think on the fly. But I thought actually, do you know what? I've had a bit of time to think about this.
Yeah, you
What
have.
can I do?
Months.
Literally months. This is going to sound really cliche. This band would make some really cool music. Some would say beautiful music,
Ooh.
I concur.
but it will
bold
also
claim.
be very heavy. And I'm not really a fan of the word for use of describing how music sounds. But people say a lot of music sounds brutal, whatever. So the name of the band is The Beauty of Brutality.
The Beauty of Brutality. I like it.
Also known as Bob.
Perfect. I do like a band when it can be summed up in 3 letters.
Like Rob Lane. With
Like
his
Rob
bands.
Lane with all his trio, his 3-letter band names.
Oh, low battery. That was lucky. We nearly ran out of charge, Daniel.
I don't know if we actually need it anymore, dude. I think we're pretty good, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, especially when we've got a guest who's so organised. He knows the format so well.
And he's had 3 months to think about it.
Yeah. I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't pull him down.
I'm not pulling him down.
He's done an amazing job.
I pay attention to the format. I'm a stickler for the rules. So
Thank God.
You know.
I've not had to get irate on this episode, thankfully.
the rules, baby.
Okay, dude.
Dude,
It's
thanks.
time to say goodbye.
Yeah, but I want to say thank you first. This has been brilliant.
I appreciate
Do
it.
you?
Part 1 and part 2.
I can't remember part 1, but I assume part 2's been great. I can't remember how I
enjoyed
feel
it.
about part 1, though.
I'm not as stressed this time because I've not got the children outside. So
Banging on the door.
and a time and a set time limit. So yeah,
Oh, it's been great to have you here, dude. And great to reminisce.
yes,
We've had some good times, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and now we're going to reminisce by watching some old Spirtyus videos. I'm sure.
At full volume. Full bore.
Yeah.
Full bore.
Full bore. Where can people find you, Ryan?
So I'm on Instagram, Ryan M Walton. That's it. Simple, really.
Perfect.
You know, there's nothing. We've got Spirtyus still has a presence on Facebook. We do have Spotify pages, but there's no albums on there.
Not yet.
Not yet. Keep checking Spotify and the Facebook page because at some point, hopefully, we'll get something announced that we've actually got the stuff back out there. The other thing that I'm actually thinking of doing soon is kind of like an opportunity to have a trip down memory lane, short videos, looking at maybe bringing people in, just reminisce about a particular gig or something like that. Kind of take people down memory lane and
That's an awesome
discuss
idea.
it a little bit. Because I don't really have an outlet for my musical creativity in that at the moment, just because of stage of my life and that kind of stuff. But I'm thinking something like that could be quite easily done. You know, quick video, discuss it, get some comments on there, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's a great idea, dude.
Yeah.
Bro. Well, whatever, if there's any change on the music for Spirtyus being uploaded and things like that, we'll make sure we share it on the page anyway and make
Exactly.
everybody aware, so we'll give it a good
And
boost.
we'll share a couple of the old videos as well and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We'll get
It's
the hype.
awesome.
Some fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
Been to that many Spirtyus gigs. It's ridiculous.
I know,
Really.
I've got so many fun memories.
It's amazing.
Dude, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, should we say goodbye?
Yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye, Ryan.
Goodbye.
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 Farewell.
Dude.
Well, hey!
Here he is. How fun was it to have Ryan on the pod?
Amazing. It's
I've missed him.
It's always great to hang out with him, isn't it?
And me and Ryan have got our own secret handshake. Well, it's not really secret. Our own custom. You can call it custom?
Have you got a video of it?
Yeah, I'll stick it up on the
put it up.
socials.
Yeah, listeners, you've got to see this. You've got to see this.
It's probably not what you're expecting.
It's not really. You can't class it as. It's a greeting,
There's a handshake element.
but it's overshadowed
I'd say so, yes.
by the cranium.
The cranium and the pirouette involved. That's all I'm saying. You'll have to watch it yourselves.
It features a cranial pirouette. That's never been said before, Dan.
It's a greeting that features a cranial pirouette.
Right.
Shall we start dissecting this band, this dream band of
Yeah,
Ryan's?
let's start dissecting. But first of all, let's make note of the fact that Ryan made a
I know
statement.
what you're going to say.
He made a statement that this band
A bold claim.
is not going to be new metal influenced.
However,
However,
the members he picked for this band and the producer say otherwise, I'd say. It's very much going to be a new metal band. Whether he likes it or not.
But new metal is seen as a dirty word sometimes. Don't be ashamed of it. Own it. That's what I say. I didn't used to like new metal.
I've always loved it.
I know you have.
I don't care what people think, quite obviously. Okay, who we got first?
Anything where the tab is 0101.
There's nuances to 01 though, isn't there? That's what new metal... So new metal took the 01 and the 0000 to the extreme with different nuances and little offbeats and mute notes. I mean, Korn have so many mute notes in the bass. Not that you'd notice, most people. But there is. It's got nuance to it.
I don't pay much attention to the bass in Korn. Anyway, so first on drums,
Who is it, Danny? Who's he picked?
John Otto.
John Otto from Limp Bizkit.
Amazing live band.
Oh, we've seen them a couple of times, haven't we? Well,
Yes.
at least a couple of times. Probably seen them about 3 or 4 times, actually.
The couple of times I've seen them, Ryan has been on stage with them.
Oh, yes. At Download as well.
Yeah, amazing experience.
Including Danny. Got to get it in there. The Download we played. That's Danny just inserting the little note there for the Download card to be played.
I think one of the defining... well, no, that's too much of a bold claim. I was going to say one of the defining features of Limp Bizkit is the drums, but...
It's the rhythm.
It's a big mixing part of...
That's just not the drums, though, is it, for Limp Bizkit? It's got a lovely tight sounding kit. I love how like tight he is in the beat. It keeps it pretty simple most of the time, but it's lovely, and it's perfect beat placement.
Yeah, his snare, how it's like tuned as well. It just works so well, doesn't it?
A bong to it almost,
Yeah.
isn't it? A bong.
Really-
That's what technical. It's got a bong to it.
It's got a bong to it. Undeniable groove.
Absolutely. What did we listen to? We listened to Nookie, didn't we?
Okay. I did it all for the...
What? Come on.
Great production, though. I mean, those first 2 or 3 albums,
Oh, yeah.
it still stands up to some modern production now.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Let's not talk about the later albums, so.
Great choice on the drums.
Great choice, Ryan.
Right, let's just interrupt this summary section.
For a little story by Ryan.
This is a special episode of Pick and Licks. It's part of the Podcasthon 2025, a groundbreaking non-profit initiative over a 7-day period where thousands of podcasts come together worldwide to raise awareness for charities.
And the charity that we've chosen is the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
So I got a bit of a story about that.
Oh, go for it, Ryan.
So I'm going to say, I think it was 2015, Spirtyus were playing at Bloodstock, and there was always that Sophie connection at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
I went over to the little Sophie tent, that they got over there.
Yeah.
I always like to wear like something on my wrist to show like support or something like that. And I used to have a black wristband, a Sophie wristband. But I knew that they were giving away, I'm sure it was 2015, they were giving away special edition purple Sophie wristbands. So I went over. Turns out I'd literally just missed the last one that was there. And the lady that was there was actually Sylvia Lancaster. So she said to me, "Oh, go on, you can have this one," and gave me the wristband that she had off her wrist.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's really cool. Thank
Yeah,
you for
it is.
that. She didn't need to do that, but I took it and I thought, you know what, I'm going to wear that with pride. We did the show. I pretty much kept that wristband on for the rest of the year. Following year, at Download, I went over to the Sophie tent. So Sylvia Lancaster's there, and I gave her back the wristband. I said, I've worn this over the last year. We did the last couple of shows with it. She probably didn't know me from Adam, but I thought, I'm going to do something cool and give it back to you now. And she was really, really appreciative of it, because obviously it was a limited edition one, all that kind of stuff. But I just thought, yeah, you're a really kind, genuine person. You're doing some great work with the Sophie Foundation. So, that's my little story, my little
there's a link.
Sophie link. But yeah, they do really, really great work. Some of the educational work that they've done with the foundation has been phenomenal. And the work that they're doing on, working with the government on making hate crimes a thing across the country rather than, in certain counties is really, really important. So, more power to them.
It's all about stamping out prejudice, hate, and intolerance everywhere. So how is that a bad thing?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you want to support that charity, just go over to SophieLancasterFoundation.com and you can do a little donation there if you fancy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're back.
Hey!
Oh, I didn't know we were going to do another one of them.
Yeah, but we're back from the...
Okay, so every time we're back, do you
From the
automatically way hey, do you? Okay, that's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So who's next, Danny? Who we got?
Next, is in your arena.
My arena, my personal arena.
Yes.
It's Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine and my preferred band, actually, that it was in, Audioslave.
It is my preferred band as well. I mean, I'm very biased because it's Chris Cornell.
Yeah. I mean, has there been a bigger vocal upgrade than Zach De La Rocha to Chris Cornell?
Oh, Zach's amazing at rapping, though.
Yeah, but he's not Chris Cornell, is he? We've seen Chris Cornell rap.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Yeah, that album.
Pick it up.
Yeah. Pick it up.
That terrible...
Who was it produced by?
what was his name?
Timberfield or something.
Timberland.
Timberland. Oh, yeah, I don't like that album. But,
it's a terrible album.
But when we saw...
It's a terrible album.
Dude.
That was Audio Slave, though. That was
It is a terrible... Yeah, it's not great at all, is it? But we saw them at Download. And
they
he
rocked
performed
it
that
up a little bit, hadn't they?
Yeah, and they had Pete Thorne on guitar, I believe.
I don't know. I don't know who he is.
Pete Thorne's awesome.
But just a little bit of a funny little fact there. We have seen Chris Cornell rap, and I do prefer Zach De La Rocha's rapping, if I'm honest.
But we're not talking about the singers, are we?
No, we're not.
We're talking about the bass.
We're talking about the bass. And in both bands, it's incredible. So groovy.
Yes.
So his tone is so big. It's massive.
It's got so much snarl.
It's got so much of everything to it. It's got it like gurgles and bubbles under itself to like. It's got so much texture to it.
That is, yeah.
Every note is just. It's not. It just doesn't stop. There's no syncopation. It's just like it's got an undulating bubble to it that I really like.
Is that his rig that's doing that, or would you say it's more to do with his technique and his approach, his feel, and
a lot of it
his
is rig, to be honest?
Will it?
It's his jazz bass, and
he's got 2 amps, hasn't he? I've watched a rig rundown a while ago.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he splits the distortion off.
Yeah, I think the distortion goes through different amps to the. Again, it's just to create that texture, I suppose, and he uses a lot of effects as well.
It's just amazing, and I don't know how tall he is, but he makes like a P bass look tiny.
Is it a jazz bass? I think, isn't it?
Is it a jazz bass?
I don't think it's a P bass.
Well, he makes that stingray.
Oh, he's got a stingray.
Mind you, he's got a. Have you seen the shorter scale length stingray?
I don't think he uses one of them.
He's got a signature one that's a full length one and a smaller scale length one.
I could probably do with that.
It probably look.
I've only got little arms. Vestigial. My arms are vestigial.
You always use it. You love that word, don't you?
It's a great word.
We'll have a look at that after this. I think you'll like the look of the bass. Plus, he had like you know the problem that you've got with stingrays. He's got like a thumb rest installed on it.
I know. I've seen them.
Yeah.
I'd have to install a thumb rest. That'd be my first job. I wouldn't be able to put. I hate your Stingray.
It's already there. It's already there. It's installed from stock.
Oh, it's pre-installed.
Yeah, it's pre-installed.
Yeah, but what if I don't like where it's been installed though?
I think he's installed it where
I would normally where the pickup should be.
Yeah,
is that what we're saying?
I think that's where he's put it.
Good,
but yeah,
sweet spot,
mate. He's got some of the best bass distortion tones ever.
I can't deny that. It's so big. It's one of the biggest sounding bass players in that kind of field.
And with the drummer,
groove galore.
Will it blend?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you was prompting me then.
Will it blend?
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
Who's next?
Brilliant choice.
Great choice, Ryan. Great choice. But again, quite new metal.
Indeed.
We've got 2 out of 2 new metal artists currently.
Guitar 1.
Is this going to be another new metal?
We've got Aru
from
El Nino and Lion at the Gates.
Lions at the Gates. Lions. It's either one lion at the gate,
or plural,
or there's multiple lions at one gate, or there could be multiple lions at more than one gate.
Or there is a pride of lions.
So is it just the one gate, or is there more than one gate involved?
Let's have a look. No. There's a pride.
There's a pride of lions.
There's a pride of lions at the gate.
Pride at the gate.
Yeah, there's a pride at the gate.
I'm glad we established that. Sorry, Ryan, for ruining your episode. So he's the guitarist. So
yeah, he's the guitarist. We talked about how can I live?
How can I live without you?
Yeah.
How can I live? Great song. It's a classic El Nino track, isn't it?
It's the song that I know. I don't really know many others. I know that album. I have listened to that album you talked about, Revolution. Yeah,
that's that album. I quite enjoy that album. It's probably not to your taste.
It's not really. No.
I know it's not your. But I listened to that album so much back in the day. He was not on that album though. But How Can I Live?
Do you prefer this album?
It's a smarter album. It's cleared up all the jagged edges.
Well, it's good production.
Yeah,
it's like big, thick, dirty tones.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm imagining it's been quad tracked.
But it's got that pop.
I'm guessing.
It's got that poppy element to it.
It has,
in the choruses.
But the verses have got like a really. Did you notice the interesting like ambient melodies?
Yeah,
the cleans.
Yes,
you notice them things before I do. But the bounce that he's got when he's writing riffs. I don't know if he writes the riffs, but it's undeniable.
And some of the creepy little guitar effects again it's got.
Yeah, so it's worth talking about Aru's time in Machine Head, the Burning Red.
Oh, the new metal album.
The new metal album, yeah. I don't think anybody expected that from Machine Head.
But I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I thought it was a great album.
A little guilty pleasure.
Yeah, if you focus on the guitars, it's got that. I don't know if it's Aru's signature sound, if it's his vibe.
Maybe.
But you can, when you see what he's played on Il Nino and what he's played on that Machine Head album, and then later on Lines at the Gate, there's a common theme, isn't there? There's like that bounce.
It's an energy. It's big energy,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
the big energy kind of stuff.
Decent. I think he'll fit in well so far.
Yes, totally. I mean, do you want to talk about Lines at the Gate?
But I found them a little overproduced for my liking. But yeah, again, full of energy, dude. Full of energy guitar.
Yeah, undeniable.
It's just
Chorus was huge.
big chorus. A common theme with kind of these kind of bands these days. They have that massive positive chorus.
Yeah.
It drops back down again into like the verse.
But Ryan wants a big, thick, percussive, bouncy band. He's going to fit in brilliantly, especially alongside Head.
Who is our next dream member?
Exactly.
Ryan, you're not beating the new metal allegations here, though. With
No.
probably one of the kings of new metal,
Yeah.
Brian Welsh, Head from Korn.
Which we went back and listened to his solo album, didn't we?
Well, we've always said this, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've both really enjoyed his solo album over the years. When Head left Korn didn't really sound like Korn anymore, and then Head released his solo album, which just sounded like Korn.
It sounded more like Korn.
It sounded more like Korn than Korn did, which is madness, really. But it just shows how much of Korn is him and his style and his writing.
A strong feature of his creative process, isn't it?
It is, yeah. He uses a lot of creepy effects, very creepy.
That's the best word to describe it, really, isn't it?
Horror. I think you say like horror kind of film, kind of music.
Yeah, because it creates so much suspense especially during he's a master at kind of building suspense from a verse into a big bouncy.
Again, the
because you
bounce.
said that, didn't you? It's
Yes,
you know that suspense is leading into something big and bouncy. There's a few examples of that on some like standout tracks, isn't there, from Korn that we looked at. Blind, classic.
The ultimate classic, really. Just the intro. Doing that and beautiful stuff.
For me, I think my favourite Korn track ever is Falling Away From Me.
Again, creepy guitars.
We played that in Chung, didn't we? It's like a little kind of...
Did we?
Yeah, we played just the riff.
Oh, yeah.
But it wouldn't have been in drop B, it was in drop C.
A.
We were...
Corner in A.
Oh, they're in A. They're in A.
Corner in A.
Well, we were higher.
We were drop C sharp.
Was
it drop C sharp or drop C?
Yeah, we just played that first intro section and then we dropped out and dropped into something else. I can't remember what it was, but...
He uses a lot of effects. I think we argued about this a little bit, didn't we, when we were talking about Danny? I said it was kind of like flanger, but you said it's not. You said he'd put his flange away.
I think it's phaser.
So, Danny, what did we find out? We just had a little pause there.
We had a little pause and just checked what pedals that he used. I boldly said that he uses a phaser.
And I said it was a flanger. We don't know how accurate it is, do we? But it looks like he uses a flanger. But someone does recommend using a phaser to get his kind of sound as well. So we both could be right. But let's just say that mostly I'm right. Flanger or phaser?
But you listen to loads more Korn than me, so you're probably right.
I've probably listened to hours and hours, probably days worth of Korn more than you. But what a great combination with
Oh, yeah. It's going to be so
with those
good,
both
isn't it?
those guitarists. Banging. Who's next, Danny?
Next,
We've got someone on the DJ, haven't we?
we've got,
On the decks.
from Linkin Park,
Joseph Hahn.
2 tracks we picked out. It's not going to surprise anyone. In the end, Points of...
Dude, again,
I've
you're
written
in a
notes,
situation where you've written notes and you can't read your own writing.
Yeah, but I've kind of done it in shorthand, even though it's not shorthand. I'm not claiming to be able to write
You're claiming
shorthand.
you've got a very short hand.
I like the additional textures that it adds.
Yes,
And-
I mean, he does a lot, doesn't he? He does
Yeah.
some of the little piano-y, keyboardy bits, and he does some of the wiki DJ bits as well on the decks.
I'll be honest, mate. A lot of that stuff kind of passes me by. That I'm focusing a lot of the time on the core instruments. A lot of the time, the DJ stuff. No disrespect. It's like it's something that I pick up on after a few listens. Whereas you have always had this ability to put a track on and pick these things out straight away.
My brain goes straight to the heart of a track, unfortunately.
You've always been able to do it, even like with all the co-ed and stuff.
The little sounds, they're the ones that attract me first.
And you go, oh, did you hear that? I'm like,
It's because
What?
I've got a great ability to completely ignore the vocals, dude.
dude, you've got a producer's ear. That's the thing. You've got a producer's ear. The producers hear things like that. It's their job to put these things in.
It's the bass. I listen
Ear
to the
candy.
bass, the drums, and all the little tiny little bits. Guitars and vocals. I'm sorry, Danny. That's what your ears are for.
Couldn't give two shits.
Couldn't. No, really couldn't.
Anything that's above what frequency would it be? there's a cut off, and you're like, no, because all the samples are normally in that realm as well.
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, it adds a great. I mean, for bands like Linkin Park as well, he adds so much, doesn't
yeah,
he?
it's another dimension, mate. And I did make a note. I didn't get a chance to say this to you beforehand, but
Okay.
I like the way that it takes the produced elements to the live stage.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you that opportunity to take the recording to a
Yeah, I mean,
stage.
a lot of bands do it now, don't they, with just like a laptop or something, and it's not quite the same, I don't think.
Yeah,
it
it's
loses the performative
Yeah.
aspect of it. I've seen some actual, like house DJs and stuff before,
Yeah.
and I don't want to disrespect them, but I'm going to. They don't do anything. They just pretend to twizzle some knobs, but what you see them doing does not relate to anything that's actually coming out of speak. I assume it's just a pre-recorded track that's playing, and they're just pretending to do stuff. I mean, I'm sure they've written the track and done it all, but
Or borrowed it from someone else.
or borrowed or sampled some bits. But there's pretty much no like live stuff coming out. But people like Joseph Hahn, he's literally playing his pads and he's doing it. He's like adding something in the live setting that like big DJs don't even do. So
He's doing it all in real time. I totally don't know. What,
some of it,
what's happening.
some of it will be linked up to the track and stuff. But there's a lot of the live element with him as well. So
Well, that's what Ryan wanted, wasn't it? That kind of interaction on a live, like what Danny used to do in Spirtyus.
exactly,
Really.
it adds again that performative element to it that's not there sometimes.
Which leads us on to Ryan.
What a legend!
What a legend. If you didn't have the pleasure of seeing Spirtyus play live,
Unlucky,
like Ryan's stage presence is unreal.
absolutely unreal.
Yeah, and it didn't matter what crowd he was playing to, he always managed to win them over.
He'd give it 100%, more than 100% every single time.
Yeah.
And that, whether it's in a little shitty little gig in the middle of Nottingham somewhere with us back in the day,
Yeah.
or at the Ice Arena, or in
Yeah.
Ibiza, 100% every time.
Yeah, it didn't matter to him at all. It was like this.
He loves performing.
Yeah, he's a natural performer. You know, his ability to blend his like aggressive, like screaming vocal with the big sing-along choruses, and then there's like some rap in there as well. The guy's got a lot of talent,
Yes,
hasn't he? And he's a great guy on top of it all.
which always helps. Absolute legend. Then he's been
Yeah.
on stage with Limp Bizkit a few times. So.
Yeah. And the Spirituous songs, the debut album, the self-titled album, is out on streaming platforms now. And Fundamentals, the EP, is out. So if you want to listen to Spirituous, if you were a fan of the band and you want to reminisce and relive some of those fantastic times that we all experienced at Spirituous gigs, go and check them out.
Stick them on.
Yep. Send your love to Ryan.
Yeah, check him out on. We'll do the social media bits later, but yeah, he's been doing a few bits on social media recently, musically, so
Yeah.
it's worth checking that out as well. I think Ryan had a producer as well, didn't he, dude? He picked his producer for the album,
What was his name?
Ross Robinson.
You instantly knew who he was, didn't you?
Ross Robinson.
Because did you say he did Korn's first album?
He did, Korn's first album, Korn, and $3 Bill You're by Limp Bizkit. I think he did some other Limp
okay.
Bizkit albums as well. But he's a classic, again, new metal
Yeah.
producer, and he really nails that jumpy beat, kind of beat emphasised stuff.
Quite a groundbreaking producer, really, then.
Yes.
Like, you know, as far as a subgenre of metal, would you say that new metal is a cross between metal and hip hop in a way, or what would you say it's a fusion of?
I think grunge has got something to play in it as well. It kind of
yeah,
came
good
out.
point, yeah.
The time it kind of came out of that grunge kind of era. It's kind of like a deformed grunge,
Post grunge.
with some hip hop elements in there as well.
Yeah.
Kind of a melding of all the kind of mid '90s, late '90s culture all in kind of one. Really,
Yeah.
it took elements from that '90s hip hop and early '90s grunge and kind of rammed it into something completely different.
It takes us back to school days, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
When we hear it.
Love it. This is gonna be a great band.
So, would you go and see this band?
Of course I would, Danny. There was no chance I was going to say no. It's going to be mega, isn't it?
It's going to be amazing.
What about you? Would you go and see this
Oh,
band?
yeah, of course I would. Of course I would. I don't know if I'd get in the mosh pit.
I'm too old, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sorry, Ryan.
I'll be on the balcony.
I'd be one of those. I'd be one of those attendees that's standing there, leaning up next to the sound desk, just kind of taking in the vibe rather than participating in
in any kind of mosh-based behaviour.
Yeah.
Crowd surf? Wall of death? Any of that?
I don't know now.
I don't think.
I'm too delicate.
You are, aren't you? A delicate little flower these days.
Delicate little flower. I mean, tracks like Mandem and Crucify by Spirtyus.
It's going to mess you up, that is.
Yeah, we used to get involved back in the day, but I don't know.
We did partake, didn't we, back in the day?
Would you buy a T-shirt?
Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Put your money where your mouth is. Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Daddy, would you buy a T-shirt? Put your money where your mouth is.
Well, we need to find out what this band's called first, dude.
The Beauty of Brutality.
So, would you buy a T-shirt with that on it, dude?
Yeah, I think so. I'd support the band.
That band name would go quite well with a spiky band logo. What do you think?
Yeah, but I don't know if it'd go with that new metal vibe, even though Ryan said it's not going to be a new metal vibe.
A black metal T-shirt with a new metal band. I just think it'd suit the spikiness.
Maybe like a flower bursting out of a bomb or something.
Oh.
Like, you know, like the cartoon bombs with a fuse. So the flower is bursting out of it.
Okay.
A sledgehammer, but the handle has got like a flower coming out of it or something.
Well, you're really going down this.
I'm going down the flower
route,
power, but
yeah.
it's like the beauty of brutality.
A mushroom cloud made out of flowers.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can stop at that.
I mean, should we leave it there?
Yeah.
We've gone too far, haven't we?
We both buy T-shirts.
I'd buy a T-shirt.
We both buy T-shirts. Wicked.
Because, to be fair, we buy most of these T-shirts because we design them in our heads ourselves.
I know, I'm going to have a clear out at this rate.
Oh, dude.
Dude, amazing episode.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you.
It's going to be awesome to see that guy back on the stage again. I hope he gets back on the stage soon.
Oh, we'll be there, won't we?
Yes.
Can't wait.
We can relive our youth.
Oh, yeah.
Like the good old days.
We're 25 again.
There's a couple of old dudes at the back leaning up against the sound desk.
Yeah, look at how they fall over.
Of weirdos drinking mocktails.
I think that one's got a glass of water. We're not cut out for it anymore, are we?
No. Thank you very much to our listeners for, yet again, sticking with us and showing us support. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share.
And give us a 5-star review.
Ooh.
5 stars only.
5 stars, 5 stars.
You're ridiculous.
Right.
Where do we find Ryan? Just quickly before we go, where do we find him?
So Instagram, if you search for Ryan M. Walton.
That was close.
You'll find out some of his, especially he's been sharing some recent studio videos.
Indeed.
Some vocal videos, which sound killer. Keep sharing them, Ryan. And the Spirtyus band page is live on Facebook. I think Ryan's pretty active on that, so if you want to chat and reminisce or ask him about the songs,
do it.
Go for it.
He loves it.
And all the songs are available on streaming sites. So dig in.
Enjoy. Right, dude, shall we say goodbye?
Let's say goodbye.
Is that time again?
Until next time, goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
We're so sorry to see you go, but thanks for tuning into the show.